Mic check number two. Mic check number two. Mic check number two. Mic check number two. Pleasant good morning to everyone within the sound of my voice. Welcome back to the Moosa Cricket Stadium in Pearland, Texas for the continuation of the Veterans Cricket USA T20 franchise tournament. We're at the business end of the tournament, and these are the eliminator games, obviously culminating in the final tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon rather. This matchup featuring the 3 versus 4. In other words, the team that was third ranked in the team or Group A, that is the Georgia Titans, versus the 4th ranked team in Group B, the LA Knights. Those two lock horns right here, and on the very cloudy skies with the humidity in the area. Generally, the ball swings under these conditions here in the Pearland area. But Captain Janak Patel for the LA Knights, having won the toss, deciding to have a bat. So the openers will be coming out shortly. In fact, you see them right there in the middle of your screen. And we are going to have something close to a scintillating day's worth of cricket, you would think. And so the openers for the LA Knights are going to be Ajay Gariali and Paresh Patel. And let's just say that you're looking for a pretty exciting day's worth of cricket here. Openers for the LA Knights, Ajay Gariali and Paresh Patel. Ajay Gariali essentially is representative of what you might want to call a one-man show with the bat. He's leading the team in runs with 128 over the course of 3 matches, 11 fours and 4 sixes, 150. The next highest batter in the LA Knights side has all of 39 runs. So the key, if you are the Georgia Titans, is to try to get Ajay Gariali early and get inroads into the lineup. And the man at the bottom of your screen, Hemant Patel, will be the man who's tasked with doing exactly that. Been a really good bowler, opening the bowling left arm over the wicket, generally slants it into or swings it into the right-handed batters, or sometimes takes it away from them with that angle left arm over the wicket. And Hemant Patel, in fact, is the best bowler statistically in the side for the Georgia Knights. In 3 matches, he's taken 5 wickets, conceded 73 runs. That's an average of 14.6, best bowling of 3 for 16. And we're off and running. Very first delivery, very full down the leg side. And you see umpire Myron James signaling a wide. And we're off and running here, by the way. I did not introduce myself. My apologies. This is Brian Walters here with you for 2 matches today. This first match between the LA Knights and the Georgia Titans. Another match later on this afternoon between the Texas Red Cobras. And I'll get the opposition team in that match in just a second. Short delivery. Looks to pull it away. Tell you what, he almost dragged that onto his stumps, Ajay Gariali. The ball was there to be hit. It was short, and he was looking to pivot and get that away on the leg side. Not able to make contact, and the ball ricocheted really perilously close to the stumps. So a bit of an exciting dot ball, but you've already started out here with the field that you would expect for a good fast bowler in that there's a deep backward square leg, and then there's also a man at deep long on, just maybe halfway to the boundary. This one again sprayed down the leg side. So having just a little bit of trouble finding the right line to start out with here. And you'll see that Hemant Patel generally gets it right, but as the left arm fast bowler over the wicket, he's going to want to target that line maybe just outside of off stump. If you start it too straight, then it can go down the leg side, because that swing, any amount of swing, is going to be into the right-handed batter. So you're going to have to be careful with that. Next delivery, very full. In fact, the low full toss is played into the short mid-wicket area. That is Faisal Akhtar, as he referred to himself to me this morning, the free agent playing for Georgia in this tournament, lives in the Dallas, Texas area. A long-time servant of the game here in this country, in addition to being a spectacular musician. But he probably, at this stage, wants to talk less about singing and more about his cricket. Short delivery, played off the back foot. That's a good looking shot. It's going to run close to the boundary, and it will get there now. So proper square cut from Ajay Gariali. Gets it behind point. The fielder at backward point, not really offering much resistance, has to be said. Tried to stick his left foot out there, and once it got past him, this outfield is maybe just a little bit on the thicker side, but still had enough power to race across the carpet to have the first boundary of the day. So again, Ajay Gariali is a man that you're going to have to watch out for. And he is easily the best batter on the side statistically as it relates to what has been happening in this tournament. And if you give the ball to him short and wide outside off stump, probably that's what you expect to happen. So just a little bit of trouble finding the right line here, Hemant Patel. That off-stump line is one you need to be looking for. Next delivery, much, much better. That's where the ball needs to be. Ending up on off-stump, played into the offside for no run. Paresh Patel is the non-striker. Paresh Patel, one of the players between the ages of 40 and 44. And just to say a little bit more about that, for each side, you can have a maximum of 3 players between the ages of 40 and 44 on the side. Ooh, looks for the big drive here. Did that come off the outside edge? It might have been the inside edge, actually running down close to the boundary. They'll get a couple of runs. Let's see what the signal is here from umpire Myron James. And yeah, that genuinely was an inside edge. So couple more runs here to Ajay Gariali. So to finish the point I was making, you can have a maximum of 3 players between the ages of 40 to 45. You can have a maximum of 4 players between the ages of 45 and 50. Everyone else has to be over the age of 50. So let's just say one of the younger players in the side today is at the wicket, and this is played into the leg side. They'll get a single, as that is Faisal Akhtar again, doing some work to clean that up. So Paresh Patel, again, one of those players who is under 50. Oh, I'm sorry, between 40 and 44. Definitely under 50, but certainly comfortably one of the younger players on the side. So that's the end of the first over. A little bit of an eventful over. 9 runs coming from it, and of over 1, 9 without loss. Nine runs on the board. The second bowler for the over, or for the match rather, is going to be bowling now from the Massey Ranch Road and the southern end of the ground here in Grand Prairie, in Pearland. My apologies. Sometimes when you commentate in more than one location, you get them all mixed up. So JV Vakil, Jwalant Vakil, is going to be taking up the action, the attack from the southern end of the ground. And I mentioned that it's the southern end of the ground for a specific reason, and I'll get more about that in a second. Play it into the leg side. They'll pick up a single here to mid-wicket. So the reason why that's significant is that there is, just like yesterday, a little bit of wind, maybe not quite as windy today as it was yesterday, but it's coming from the south. So if you elevate the ball in the air from this direction, you'll be hitting it into the wind. And you might just be able to see the flags to your top right. Not much movement right there. And in fact, the flag that is just toward the left of your screen, showing a little bit more movement. But all in all, it's a little bit less windy today than it was yesterday. But just be aware of any wind that is going to be evidenced on the field is going to be from this end. The players will be hitting into the wind. So just something to pay attention to. But anyway, so a couple of singles to start here in over number 2. JV Vakil, his figures for the day, or for the tournament rather. In 3 matches, He's statistically the second best bowler. That is cut away into the deep. A sweeper is out there. And so 3 straight singles to start over number 2. So back to Mr. Vakil. 3 matches, 3 innings, 12 overs bowled, 94 runs conceded, 5 wickets taken. Best bowling is 2 for 25. Economy rate, probably a little bit more expensive than he'd like, 7.83, but a strike rate of 14.4 and an average of 18.8 is evidence of him being a really good bowler. Ooh, this one's staying a little bit low. That attempted drive by Paresh Patel, not really yielding much benefit. So the first dot ball in this over. Paresh Patel hasn't faced very many balls. The majority of the deliveries faced by Ajay Gariali. Ajay Patel 1 from 2. That's a good-looking stroke. A sweeper is out there again. And that's another single. And just for those who are not familiar, at this stage of the innings, in other words, the first 6 overs, the first 36 legal deliveries, only 2 players are allowed outside the inner circle, the 30-yard circle that goes around the pitch. Played into the offside, that is a dot. A good over, 4 runs conceded in that first over, 4 singles. You can live with that all day long. End of 2, the score is 13 without loss. Hemant Patel to continue. First delivery worked into the leg side, no run. So I mentioned earlier that this is the 3 versus 4 matchup. The 3 versus from Group A, which is the Georgia Titans. Each group has 4 teams. And the top of Group A is the San Francisco Blasters. Second ranked team is Texas Red Cobras. Third is the Georgia Titans. And the 4th is Chicago Braeborn. Lofted down the ground. Huge hit for 6. My goodness, that lands well and truly out of the playing area, over the fence, and in the hill close toward the Balkis field. That is a gigantic strike by Paresh Patel. And I will say this. The straight boundary is a little bit short. The straight boundary from this end is about 78, 79 yards. With a little bit of wind, that would have helped that ball travel in that direction. But I will tell you this, wind or no wind, that would have carried a long way and out of the ground in any stadium. So for me, estimating that shot, you're probably talking about a 90-yard strike. And that is a brutal, brutal strike from Paresh Patel, who opens up his shoulders and shows what he's capable of. And I mentioned earlier that they've been essentially a bit of a one-man team in terms of batting with Ajay Gariali. Well, Paresh Patel has only scored 30 runs before this match started in 3 matches, but you could not tell that by that strike that you just saw down the ground. So that is a big hit, and making me look like a fool for saying that the LA Titans are a one-man team. Or LA Knights, my apologies. Wow, that was huge. Okay, ready to go again. And so the lesson there, do not pitch up. Do not in any way pitch up to Mr. Paresh Patel. Generally, you don't want to pitch up anyway, but if you pitch it up to a man who has the power to drive the ball like that, then that will tell you that you should probably work on getting that length just a little bit shorter. And of course, you have a fielder in the deep on the leg side, and you don't necessarily want to see if he can do that again. And he does the exact same thing again, and this one might have gone even further. Again, that length cannot be a length that allows Paresh Patel to get on the front foot, because he'll do exactly that. Not much demons in the pitch, no lateral movement whatsoever. So the ball is there to be hit, and you're going to have to pull that length back. If you allow him to extend his arms and get on the front foot, then you have another delay, because the ball ends up almost halfway to Houston, which is north of where we are right now. My goodness, that was a huge strike. So consecutive sixes, well, not consecutive. You've had 2 sixes in 4 balls in this over. And if you are Hemant Patel, you have a little bit of thinking to do now, because you've seen what can happen when you overpitch to Paresh Patel. And the lesson there, again, as it bears repeating, that length has to be one that does not allow him to play on the front foot. And you certainly don't want it to be too short. You have to find that in-between length that keeps him on the crease. Here we go again. Slower delivery and a loopy type of delivery might have just done well enough to keep the aggression out of the equation for the moment. So in this over, you've had a dot, a 6, a dot, a 6, and a dot. And hopefully for Hemant Patel, you can break that sequence. But again, this ball is going to have to be on the right length. And here's the last ball of the over. Down the leg side. Good piece of keeping. That is good work with the gloves by Nikunj Patel. So another wide. That is the 3rd wide of the day so far. In fact, all 3 wides have been conceded by Hemant Patel. So still 1 ball to come. And, you're worrying so much about your length, but you can't forget about your line also. Here's the last ball. And this is played into the leg side. Not much room provided that time. So I guess on balance, a much better delivery to close things out. And in fact, that was a leg by to close out the over. But an expensive one, 13 runs coming from, make that 14 runs coming from the over. At the end of over number 3, 27 without loss. So JV Vakil bowls 1 over and immediately is taken out of the attack. I thought it was a very good over. Just 4 runs conceded, but they've gone now to Nayan Patel. Left arm orthodox around the wicket. Floats this one up there and played into the offside. Sweeper in the deep and single from the very first ball. Nayan Patel, left arm orthodox. And you've seen him bowl in the tournament so far, the 3rd leading bowler in the side. In 3 matches, he's conceded 66 runs and taken 3 wickets, so that average is 22. Generally speaking, an average of 22 is a good one. But look at this. His economy rate is exactly 6. Conceded exactly 66 runs from 11 overs. So essentially, you're conceding a run a ball when you bring him in. Loopy and in the air, and that's not going to be the type of delivery that only concedes 1 run. It's a full toss, well outside the line of off stump, and Ajay Gariali helps himself to 4 runs over extra cover. Still inside the power play, there are 2 fielders in the deep. The 2 fielders in the deep are long on, that's Hemant Patel, and then there's a fielder deep mid-wicket, which means that there's no coverage whatsoever in the deep on the offside. So about the last thing that you want to do is bowl a full toss outside the line of off stump, because all that Ajay Gariale will do is help himself to free runs. So off to a fast start here, the LA Knights. 32 runs on the board already, a scoring rate of 9.6. Make that 33 runs on the board, a scoring rate of 9.6. Oh my goodness, I missed it. There was a no ball. The first delivery was a no ball, so that next delivery would have been a free hit. Advancing down the track, but it doesn't get anywhere near the middle of it, but it will land short of Hemant Patel in the deep. So just to go back over what just happened, the first delivery of this match, of this over, was a no ball. So that conceded a single plus the extra for the no ball. And then the free hit delivery was hit for 4. And look at this delivery. Look at that. Slow through the air. Absolutely fooling Paresh Patel, playing all around it. And he is dismissed. My goodness. What a comeback ball here for Nayan Patel. Tossed it up. Very, very loopy. Very slow through the air. That is generally the way that he bowls. And he gets Paresh Patel to play about a week too early. And he loses his middle stump. My goodness. Good piece of bowling. So he starts out in about the most ragged way that you can, with a no ball and then a 4. But immediately coming back to claim his man. The first wicket goes down. The score is 34 for 1. So a very productive partnership to start this match, but it has been broken. And oh my goodness, look at this. I feel like I'm in a time warp, because the man who has just come to the wicket is the great Roshan Gangam. And I will tell you this, going back, let's say 25 or so years ago, this man and I had several battles here on the ground. Maybe not this ground, because this ground was not yet in existence, but about the most brilliant all-rounder that you can find. Back then, bowled medium pace. He probably still does bowl medium pace, but a tremendous batter here in the Houston area. He's well known and has been well known for about the longest time that you can imagine. One of the more long-standing stalwarts for the sport here in this country and in this area. And I will tell you, in addition to all of that, probably the most impressive thing about him I can think of is his commitment to youth cricket. Tremendous advocate for that element of the game, which is so important in being able to grow the sport here in this country. So I'll stop sounding like Roshan's agent now. That is the end of the over. 3 dot balls in a row to finish out a good over eventually. 7 runs came from it, but it started relatively ragged. But he does come back to take a wicket, Nayan Patel. And that's the end of 3. The score, it make the end of 4. The score is 34 for 1. So change in bowling again after 2 relatively expensive overs, the second of which was really expensive, 14 runs coming from it. Hemant Patel has been taken out of the attack. And this is now going to be JV Vakil, who you saw bowl the second over. And this one is played down the ground. Good looking shot for 4. Through the covers. Elegant shot by Ajay Gariale, continuing along what he has proven to be is his merry way. It was in the area that allowed him to open up his front foot and get that ball over the offside or through the offside. And you certainly will accept those runs when you get them. So JV Vakil bowled 1 over from the southern end of the ground. And then he's now bowling his second over from the Pearland and the northern end. But he's going to need to find that line that allows the batters to play on the offside, but more importantly, the length that does not allow them the room to drive like that. This is played into the leg side. That's just going to be a single. So starting out here in a relatively sedate, if you will, fashion, a dot ball and then a 4, but he does well enough to come back with a decent delivery, that third ball. So let's see how well he can close out this over, because again, you don't want to make a mistake in either line or length. The pitch does not hold any demons, and if you don't have that ball in the right area, then it could potentially be an issue. That, for me, is a good type of delivery on that off-stump line, just outside off-stump, inducing the drive, but just short enough that it doesn't quite get there. It's not quite a half volley. So that length is one that you'd want to be able to replicate. Next delivery, played into the offside. They'll jog through single, and that is Roshan getting off the mark. And 1 ball remaining here. 5 overs, really 1 ball short of 5 overs. So it's been a productive power play for the Knights. 8.28 is their scoring rate as of the moment. That projects to a score of 166. 166, I would think, would be challenging total, particularly since there is a scoreboard pressure element of things. Played into the short extra cover area. That goes away for a single. So that is the end of over number 5. And at the end of 5, 7 runs coming from it. The score is 41 for 1. $41 for 1. And for those of you who are just tired of hearing one single voice, very frankly, I'm very tired of hearing my own voice. And so I happen to be joined here in the commentary area by somebody who those of you who follow cricket in this country will know very well. Mr. Mihir Gandhi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. So good to be here with you. It's a lovely weekend of cricket that we have here going, and excited to be here with you in the commentator's box.
So earlier, as this is played into the offside, that might run away for 4. Good looking shot. Doesn't quite, did it stop right before the rope? I think it may have just stopped. No, goes all the way for 4. So there's a signal from umpire Owen Brown. Or is he signaling 4? I think he's checking to see whether or not that went for 4. So they physically ran 2, but nope, there's a signal. It did go for 4. So I'm here watching Mr. Ajay Gariale bat. Before, just coming into this match, 128 runs for the tournament. The next highest batter had 39 runs. So I classified it as a one-man band. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Actually, it's a tough question, but definitely he is kind of like a game changer and a consistent batsman. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that it's a one-man show or a one-man band, so to say, because we do have the talent and we do have batting, but unfortunately it has not clicked. And obviously, kind of like we hope that changes today. The winds of change are hopefully kind of like in our favor today. But Ajay definitely, like you said, is a excellent all-rounder, and he bats extremely well, and we depend on his kind of like putting up a good total, holding the fort and hitting the loose balls. So he can do both, and in a way I compare him with Virat Kohli. He takes a little time to kind of like get going, but once he gets going, he knows how to go after the loose balls really well. So yeah.
So let me ask you this, because you talk about going after loose balls. A couple of deliveries in over number 3 were overpitched, and Parish Patel almost hit them both back to Houston. So tell me about the power that he has and how he fits into the batting lineup.
So actually, we promoted Paresh to open the innings today because in the last couple of games, kind of like we did notice or realize that we needed someone who could go after the loose balls in the power play especially. So we did rough it up a little bit, the order, and it paid off good dividends. We had a good start.
Sure.
And Paresh definitely has the hitting ability and the power. So that was a nice shot, went all the way to the boundary line there.
Yep, so Ajay Gariala continuing 4 from the first ball of the over and the last ball of the over. So that is the end of the power play. Power play done, 49 runs on the board. What's your comfort level there?
Yeah, I think that was our target. We were hoping we'll be at about 50 runs at the end of the power play, so we are right there. So happy to see that on the board, and we hope to put up a good total and be able to beat Georgia today in our game and at least get one win under the belt. Unfortunately, we have had some hiccups in our team composition, and the chemistry is still not there because new players kind of like we are trying out and understanding their strengths and weaknesses. So it takes time, but nevertheless we are having fun. That's the main thing. So.
Oh my goodness, yes. So let's call it the Veterans Cricket USA. You would have qualified as a veteran, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. But you still have a cricket outfit on. You're still running around in the field. So talk about your own cricket journey and what it means to still be playing.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for asking that question. Like you said, kind of like, I mean, cricket is in our blood and it just won't kind of like let us sit idle. And it's good because it's a motivating thing every day in the morning when you get up. You want to kind of like, you know, be kind of like doing your routine yoga and stretching and working out and checking on your diet and things like that because you want to be playing and performing. So, I think Janak and myself, we are probably the oldest in this tournament at this point.
Wow.
Once we take the field, we forget everything about age. It's all in the mind. The body kind of like won't keep up with it, but the mind says, no, you got to keep going basically. So, enjoying every minute of it. And that's why kind of like we obviously are so deeply entrenched in cricket and trying to do whatever we can with Veterans Cricket USA, which is a platform that we are giving to people who are just past their prime. So we have the age group of 40-44, where we allow 4 players in the roster or 3 players in the roster and 2 can play in the 11. And then the 45 to 49, where we have 4 players in the roster, 3 can play, and the rest have to be over 50. But like I said, I think we have a few over 60 and who are really kind of like performing well also. So it's amazing kind of like the composition and the how the game has kind of like brought life to people who would have been sitting on the sidelines or consider themselves retired, so to say, leading a sedentary life. But it is I have to kind of like get you back on the cricket field. Brian, I know that, and I'm going to see that you are on the field one day soon participating in this cricket that we have here in Houston or coming to LA and playing at Woodley Park also. I would love to see you there.
So my choices are either A, to be out in the humidity and sweating and pulling hamstrings and every other injury that I have that kept me out of cricket all these years, or be here in the air conditioning talking about the sport, drinking coffee.
Well, I envy you for this latter part. but I definitely want you to kind of like be motivated to kind of like condition yourself so that the injuries don't happen and you kind of like have a enjoyable second innings on the field and off the field. Off the field, you are one of the best, Brian, and I'm not saying it just for the sake of it, but you are amazing, kind of like in sitting in this AC room with the coffee and everything. But you really kind of like are so knowledgeable, so good at what you do, and we really appreciate having you here as a commentator covering our games, and truly appreciate it. So it's a pleasure being with you here. So.
I genuinely appreciate you saying that. So I was talking to somebody the other day saying that when I played in Houston, I'd play, back then we played 40 over matches. I'd play a 40 over match on Sunday, and I wouldn't be right until Thursday. And I was in my 30s then.
I hear you. That's how it was kind of like for me also until this second innings has come into our life. And thanks to the kind of masters that really kind of like started this thing, and we were associated and are still connected with masters. They have a great thing going. And veterans is kind of like also similar, but we just have a different format. And every opportunity that we are able to give the players to play and participate in the game, that is the whole idea kind of like. So it is really a wonderful thing that is going on. And we have Legends Cricket in LA also, that we have games right after I go back. For 5 days we have 4 games total at Woodley Park.
Okay.
And those will be 45 over games. So there's a lot of cricket that can be played, and we are excited that players from all over US are able to come participate and be a part of the thing. So I mean, people are really committed, and it's so interesting because we make new friends, and it's just very interesting. So
what format are the games in at Woodley?
that'll be 45 overs. We have 2 visiting teams that'll be coming from South America and
Just eliminated
Canada.
me again.
Well, if you are coming, we'll make it a T20 also.
Make it a T5. I'll consider.
Hey, I've got a proposition for you. Tomorrow we have some T10 games. And not T5, but at least I can get you into the T10 right now. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so what we did is tomorrow kind of like all the teams that are playing for the placement games, they'll be playing T10, and the top 2 teams obviously will be playing the finals. So we are excited about that.
You know, I saw that because I saw where the first games were at 9 o'clock, but the final was 11. So I was wondering how that was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so with the T10, our idea was kind of like to complete the games obviously in a shorter amount of time and get the finals going, so that people who need to catch the flights to get back home are able to do that on a Sunday evening, so that Monday is not spoiled for them. So try to kind of like accommodate and be considerate for players who are coming from all over US and have taken time off from their work, from their family and everything.
Right.
So trying to balance everything out. So
that is excellent. So that is the end of over number 8, by the way. The score is now 60 for 1. Going at the rate of 7.5 and over, that projects to a score of 150. So when you did your planning ahead of the game, where did 150 figure into your plans? Were you thinking more than that, less than that?
yeah, honestly, I think if we hit about 170, 175, it'll be a good total to have. So 150 is definitely a little bit short. So I'm sure that with wickets in hand and with some other hitters still remaining, we will be able to kind of like get that 175 mark, hopefully.
So if you're looking at where the runs are going to come from, obviously Ajay Gariali, 31 from 28. Roshan, who he and I had several battles here in Houston over the years. He's just now getting warmed up, 9 from 10. But who else would you imagine would be able to put quick runs on the board later in the innings?
Yeah, I think our wicketkeeper batsman, Lakhwinder Singh Sonu, that's his nickname.
Okay.
He can really kind of connect the ball well and get the things going in the death overs. So I'm hopeful that he will be able to step up today and get us the runs that we need towards the end of the innings. So
Lakhwinder is one of those who's between the ages of 40 and 44.
right.
So he's a younger man.
Younger man, for sure. He's a regular in our SCCA league there in Woodley, and fine young gentleman who can hit the ball really hard. So yeah. Unfortunately, he missed the first day because of some other thing that emergency had come up, and he could not join us on the first day when we played 2 games. So we definitely missed his presence at that time. So
understood. So this current partnership for the second wicket is now worth 28. Opening partnership was 34. If you were to think something around 160, 170, so you're looking for another 100 or so runs, and this pulled away into the deep, but there's a man out there. But you expect, as you said earlier, with wickets in hand, that provides the platform for an acceleration later
exactly.
on.
The momentum can pick up because obviously they will also realize that we have enough batting still to come, so they can take the chances and go after the loose balls or even take some chances at that point, and hopefully kind of like be able to get the runs a little bit more at a faster pace. So yeah.
Interesting. Now, big picture, and I'm talking about next year, not next year, 3 years from now. Cricket is back in the Olympics. Cricket is going to be in the LA area.
Yes.
What is your comfort level with a temporary stadium being put up versus using, for example, Woodley?
It's so interesting that you asked me that question. You will not believe it, but at 11:30 in the night last night, I had a phone interview with a journalist based in LA who got my name from some colleague of theirs, and they were asking me the same question about cricket in Southern California and cricket coming to LA via the Olympics. And my take on that is basically, yes, we are extremely excited that Olympics has included cricket as a sport, and that it is happening in our backyard in LA. The location, in my opinion, and again, kind of like I might be going out on a limb here, but I think Pomona Fairgrounds is definitely not a good choice in my opinion.
Okay, tell me why.
Considering kind of like the location and that there's no facilities over there, it will be a little bit of a repeat like what happened in New York, where so much money is being put in, and then you dismantle it after the tournament is over or the Olympics are over, where that money could have been utilized so effectively to put up infrastructure that'll be so beneficial. Oh, that's a beautiful shot, nice boundary there. Sorry to kind of like distract myself there, but I had to put it in there. But anyways, coming to your question, that's a very valid question, and that has been playing in the minds of a lot of people. That, I mean, couldn't that money have been put into something more permanent in nature where it could be utilized? Same thing in New York, if we had something put up as a permanent thing on the both coasts in US, we would have had such nice facilities, you know, a stadium with dressing rooms and good facilities for the spectators to come and enjoy the game. But unfortunately, it might not happen. It's again a little bit premature maybe on my part, but I think I hope that kind of like they still have some kind of like plans where something more permanent can be built up somewhere and utilize the facilities to kind of like bring more international cricket to US. In the last World Cup, US did extremely well, and we are happy that the game is catching on in the US. Popularity is increasing, and there are some programs like Play LA in Southern California that is going to be involving a lot more youth and ladies. So again, that is always at the heart of the thing where we want to have more participation, more youngsters getting involved, get into the grassroots, and that thereby get into the mainstream. That is the whole idea. So, but
you and I,
yeah.
excuse me, have been around for a while. You and I have had various positions of, let's call it, administrative leadership over the years. I don't want to turn this into a bashing in any way, but I echo what you just said about the need for more permanent facilities that will assist with the growth of cricket. And for me, putting up a temporary stadium in New York or in the LA area accomplishes one goal and one goal only, is to make sure that people who already know the sport and who follow it can see it in the Olympics or in the World Cup. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. No.
I agree.
Does it assist in getting people who don't already know the sport to be introduced to it? It does not. And so, again, I don't want to turn this into just a session of bashing.
I agree.
But
No, I think
I
you.
will say
Yeah.
that it makes more sense to me to invest if the funds are there to be invested in something permanent, not something that you're going to rip down a couple of weeks after the tournament is finished.
Exactly. No, you summed it up very well. And like you said, kind of like, I mean, it's just kind of like an observation on our part. There's pros and cons, and I'm sure they have given it thought to kind of like before they kind of like planned and finalized the venue and everything. But yeah, as a kind of like observer, kind of like that is our thing where we want to. Oh, okay. Looks like that was a little of a rash move, not needed at this point.
Well, you just got past the halfway mark, 70 runs at the halfway mark, and if you were thinking 160, 170, then you would have felt a little bit of pressure. At least Ajay Gariali would have been feeling that pressure to accelerate. And so he went running down the track. As Danny Morrison says, he went out to get the milk and the door closed behind him.
Yeah, I guess that was playing in his mind too, I guess.
Yes.
But I mean, it is what it is. So he did play his role in the beginning, but I wish he had stayed longer. But that's okay. We'll do the best we can from here and put up the total that will give us a kind of like a defending, fighting total. So
The new batter is Mahesh Sukumaran. Tell me about him.
So Mahesh and his brother Manoj, they play in Southern California League also in SCCA. They play for the Inland Empire team there with Janak Patel. And fine young gentlemen, both of them, kind of like all-rounders. If he gets going also, he can connect the ball, but kind of like he has to kind of like get his eyes in. Unfortunately, so far he has not been able to get a good total. So let's hope that things change today.
So back to the previous conversation, and let's leave the our our opinions to the side.
Yeah.
But tell me about the logistics of getting to that proposed venue.
Okay. So actually, Pomona Fairgrounds is near the 1060-57 freeway junction.
Okay.
So it is kind of like quite accessible in that sense from Inland Empire, from Orange County, from LA County.
Sure.
But again, it is a little bit of a spread out area with a lot of things going on there, where a lot of big fairs are conducted. There's like big halls where concerts are also held and things like that. And then there's a racing track there. So a lot of things are happening there. Again, I don't know exactly which area they are trying to utilize for the cricket games, but it definitely...
Oh my goodness. Two wickets, two stumpings in the over as my good friend Roshan went also running down the track and the door closed behind him.
Yeah, I don't understand. I guess they are getting tempted or getting a little bit anxious to kind of like go after the bowler for some reason, but there was no need.
Wow. So how do we put this? You've lost 2 wickets in this over. Opening partnership was worth 34. The second wicket partnership was worth 36. But now you've had 2 partnerships that, let's just say, flattered but deceived. And all of a sudden, you're struggling now because there are now 2 new batters at the wicket. Mahesh has faced 3 balls, has scored 1 run. And who is this coming in now? It's going to be Dinesh Patel. Do you think Dinesh Patel is one of those that you were referring to earlier who can accelerate things?
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
I hope he's not going to listen to that later.
He's a left-hand bat, so hopefully they will have lefty-righty, kind of like where they can rotate the strike and get some runs. But I mean, I don't expect any big hitting from his side. That's my honest opinion. I mean, I don't know, just say something for the sake of saying it, but it is a little bit surprise to see him there in the middle right now.
So actually, that's not exactly right, because the shirt that he's wearing is jersey number 11, which according to my notes is Dinesh Patel, but that appears to be Sanjay
Oh yeah,
Narang.
that's Sanjay Narang. I was wondering, kind of like, I would be surprised if I saw Dinesh in there right now. You are right, absolutely. There might have been a switch in the jerseys or something. Then that's Sanjay
That's
Narang.
not in any way confusing to a commentator.
Yeah. So sorry about that. We didn't mean to throw you off there. And honestly, I was a little surprised if it was Dinesh there.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Okay, so that is a dot ball that closes out really a very good over for the Georgia Titans. Just one run scored in that over and 2 wickets.
yeah.
End of over 11, 71
That puts a lot of
3.
pressure on us at this point, losing 2 wickets in 1 over. Yesterday also we had that same situation where we lost 2 wickets in 1 over and then again 2 more wickets in a subsequent over. So that definitely is not a good thing.
So 11 overs, 71. If you go at the rate of 8 and over the rest of the way, you end up at 143. To get to 161, you'd need to go at 10 and over.
Yeah, which unfortunately seems a little bit out of reach right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm just being realistic. Wishful thinking is one thing and being realistic is another, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Okay, so another free agent with the ball in hand, Mr. Faisal Akhtar, who you've known Faisal for a long time, I'm assuming.
no.
Don't know Faisal. So Faisal has been an administrator here in Texas, lives in the Dallas area.
Okay.
Is a tremendous human being, first of all.
Nice.
Secondly, a great administrator, even though I don't know that he's still involved administratively anymore. But still plays a whole lot of cricket. I know him more as a batter. In fact, I think this might be the first time I've seen him bowl. That's hit through the covers for 4, so maybe he doesn't bowl very much.
Yeah, he just echoed your thoughts that he's a better than a bowler, I guess. Yeah, but glad to know that fine human being and involved in cricket, playing wise and administrative wise, kind of like that's the kind of thing that we want more people to be involved who can contribute to the game, give back to the game, and just continue to play the game. And I'm glad, kind of like at least you mentioned it, so that I will kind of like try to get to know him a little bit more and make another new friend. So
in addition to all of that, Faisal Akhtar is an accomplished musician.
oh, sorry, that's Faisal Akhtar. I'm so sorry, I didn't hear that right. I'm my bad.
Who did
My
you
bad.
think I was talking
Okay, no, I heard Ahmed. That's why. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. No, Faisal, I know him. Yes.
Okay, I was about to say.
No. Of course, I know him. Very fine human being and a great musician, a rock star. I enjoy watching his video clips and his productions that he comes up with.
Yes.
And yes, I definitely know him. So
Okay,
yes.
good. I was
Sorry.
wondering.
Sorry. No, my bad.
Sure. Oh, is that a stumping?
Wide.
Wide, but you can also be stumped off
Yes,
of a wide.
you are right. Yes, absolutely.
But I
No.
don't think just.
I think the
iron
batsman
things.
stood his ground there. That
Okay,
was.
he got in there. So,
Yeah.
luckily,
Yeah. Otherwise, we would have had the third stumping there, which we don't need right now. Yeah.
so that is
Yeah.
a dot ball. Good over. You
Yeah.
hit 4 off the second ball, but
Right.
6 runs total, one of them being a wide.
Yes,
so
yes.
good one for Faisal.
Yes.
End of 12, 77 for 3.
Yep.
So it's been said in the past, and I've used this a lot, that generally speaking, if you want to see where the first inning score ends up in a T20, double the score after 12 overs.
I think
12
that's
overs are up, 77 for 3. That would imply that the score would be 154. How sure are you that you can get to 154?
I think I'm pretty sure we'll get 154.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Because we do have some more good batsmen remaining. Like I mentioned earlier, Sonu is still to come. And who else can flex the bat there? Manoj is still remaining also. So I think we should be able to get 154. Yeah.
all right. We'll hold you to that.
I hope the batsmen don't let me down. Because I think once panic sets in, then kind of like things go wrong and awry, and I hope that does not become the case. I mean, they have to rotate the strike, keep the singles going, and at least one boundary every over. So, oh,
So the
that was
bowling in the last few overs has been a steady diet of spin. And it's been slow and slow spin. And it almost appears as though the LA guys are too eager to run down the track and take on the spinners. Am I right there?
yeah, that's what it looks like. And interestingly, kind of like obviously the flight is tempting, so sometimes you kind of like get carried away. You come down the track and you get stumped, like what we saw earlier.
Sure.
But I hope that they kind of like just keep a cool head and try to get the runs as they come, rather than kind of becoming too panicky about it. So.
When you were in the primary stages of your playing career, did you prefer facing pace or spin?
Actually, I preferred spin. I was more of a middle order batsman always, and I could anchor the innings. I'm not a hitter by any means, but I could have long partnerships and stabilize the innings, and that has always been my strength. And for my team in LA also, kind of like I have Anaheim Cricket Club, which is one of the 51 teams that we have in SCCA.
Wow.
I've been kind of like, it's been my baby for last 30 plus years now, and I've had some good partnerships and good middle order kind of like stands. So I preferred spin kind of like so.
I will tell you.
Yes, I would like to listen to what you're saying.
When I played,
Yes.
and I was not a top order batter.
Okay.
I mean, I've opened the batting and stuff, but generally I'm in somewhere between 4
to
and
6.
6, 4
Okay.
to 7. The second I start coming to the wicket, the captain immediately signals to his off spinner, and then he puts a long on, a deep mid wicket, and a square leg. Because
He knows what you're going to go after, right?
I hated playing spin.
Okay.
I was way more comfortable against pace.
Pace, okay.
If you toss the ball up in the air,
You don't know what's coming at you.
Do I go down? Do I stay in the crease?
Right.
There's too much thinking
Right.
involved.
True. With pace, kind of like, I mean, that's the thing, right? You can take advantage of the pace and kind of like just kind of like direct the ball or
Yes.
guide the ball, and you get the runs.
Yes.
So that's a lot easier. You have to work a lot harder with the spinners. And like you said, when the ball is tossed at you, you don't know what to expect there. So that is true. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, I guess. So
Oh my goodness.
yes.
So Faisal
And
Akhtar
looking
back-
at your physique and all that stuff, I can tell. 'Cause like, I mean, if you just guide the ball with the power of the bowler's pace and your own power, it'll just kind of like fly to the boundary line. I can see that.
Yeah, there was not much finesse in my game.
Hey, so long as the runs come, that's all that matters, right? Sometimes technique is not the only thing that counts. Like,
This
I mean,
is true.
in T20 now you see in IPL and everything, there's so much of new shots that have kind of like evolved or come into the picture
Yes.
that were not existent a few years back. So it's not just the technique now. You have to adapt to the game according to the situation that rises, and whatever gets the runs for your team, that's all that matters really. So
This is completely true. My entire game was just clearing the front leg and aiming for cow corner.
and that's why you had the deep mid wicket there. Long on, deep mid wicket, square leg.
Oh, not deep extra cover.
No,
Never,
deep
never.
square leg. Yeah. Right. No.
If the ball went to extra cover, it was a leading edge. Let's just say.
Then the bowler didn't do something that he was supposed to do. Now I have to see you on the field, buddy.
Oh, no.
And now I know where to put the fielders when you come if you are playing against me. Oh, well.
So I have two sons.
Okay.
Oldest son tried cricket a little bit, didn't like it.
Mm.
Younger son absolutely loved and loves cricket. Ooh, that's a good looking shot. That's going to be 4.
Nice. We needed that. Like we said, one boundary every over is needed, and then keep rotating the strike.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So anyway, I
your
told
younger one
myself
was into
I
it?
was going to play until my younger son and I could both play in a game together. in 2016. He and I both at the field at the same time. He was 10.
Oh, wow. Okay. He started at an early age.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're turning the clock back here. Okay, I'm opening the bowling. I'm coming off the long run. I'm fired up because my son is here. First delivery, beautiful. Second delivery, top edge. He was feeling a short third. Flew over his head for 4.
Oh.
It's like, okay, go back on the boundary.
Right.
Same ball is coming. Pulled my hamstring in that third delivery.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's the last game I played.
Oh, so sorry to hear that. I mean, all that excitement that you had of playing with your son, unfortunately, was short-lived, I guess.
It was very short.
Yeah.
But,
So,
at that point, I was like, okay, I'm not going to make the U.S. team.
no. You're absolutely right. I mean,
who am I trying to impress?
but just the pleasure of playing in the same team with your own son it's a different feeling altogether.
Oh my
And
goodness,
I mean, not everybody can have that privilege or pleasure. So I wish it was not that short-lived for you, unfortunately. And maybe now, if you come back on the field and your son is a lot older, he can kind of like be again with you on the field now. So one more incentive for you to kind of like relive that dream.
Let's just say, okay, so my oldest son plays soccer professionally.
Okay, that's
my younger
awesome.
son is up the coast from you at the University of San Francisco.
Oh,
he
okay.
is on the soccer team also.
Oh, wow. Okay,
So
that's amazing.
Cricket is going to be in the rearview mirror for both of them.
Okay.
Both will watch it.
Okay, got it.
Neither
got
is
it.
going to play it anymore, I don't think.
Got it. Okay. Well, maybe you can take to the soccer field. Go kick a few with him.
If I
I mean, soccer is a lot more demanding on the field. I know that.
if I have trouble being on a cricket field,
Yeah.
what in the world would make you think?
Yeah. Again, wishful thinking.
Oh my goodness. I will say this. What I do on the field is umpire.
Okay.
And so I don't umpire throughout the season. but
Okay.
Usually,
Selective
for example,
games.
In Austin, when they have the league finals,
Okay.
they ask me to umpire the league finals.
Got it.
And I'll do that.
Okay.
Outside the edge. It's not going to go to the boundary. It's slowing down. Oh
Oh my goodness. Like literally inches from the rope. Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. Yeah.
So let's see. I think they just ran. Did they run 2 or 3? Would they have run 3? Let me ask you that.
I think they could have run 3.
No.
No?
No, I said one of the guys is Mahesh is 45 to 49.
Yeah.
Sanjay is not. So does a 50-year-old guy have the capacity to run 3? They did run 3.
Yeah, I say my guess was right. I have faith in my guys. Yeah, we were busy observing the ball.
Yes,
And
yes.
we didn't see how many they took, but yeah, it was a good 3 runs that they took there.
So the scoring rate is picking up a little bit. Over number 14 went for 11 runs.
Nice.
Over 15, 3 deliveries into over 15, 6 runs already on the board. So let's see how far you can get here. Ooh, went for the big drive. It's
Wide.
going to be a wide. That's going to help you.
Absolutely, we'll take every bonus ball and every bonus run. I have to keep that 150 mark now. So,
Okay. So this is JV Vakil who's bowling.
Yeah.
You've seen JV for a very long time, I would
yes,
imagine.
yes.
Tell me what your impressions are of him as a bowler and as a person.
I think he is a very effective bowler, and he has performed well in some key games over the years. Fine gentleman also, and he's effective, smart bowler. He knows kind of like what the batsman kind of like might be anticipating, so he varies his line and length accordingly.
Yep.
Smart bowler, and like I said, he has kind of like had some good performances over the years in different tournaments and everything. So.
Well,
That's good running. Couple more runs there.
cricket commentating is very hard work. so there are friends around who
Take care of you. That's good. That's
Bring
good.
refreshments.
Yes. No. you need that to kind of like be in the mood and kind of like be kind of like able to kind of like commentate through the day, because it can be kind of like a little tiring when you are just by yourself also.
Correct.
Yes, I agree with you totally, and
So
it's good to have friends around who care about you and kind of like make sure that you are taken care of.
the ability to drink Gatorade in the middle of the day is something that I'm very
Yeah, refreshing.
very, very refreshing.
Yes, yes.
So look at this. You're in now to the last 5 overs.
Hmm.
99 runs on the board.
Okay, so we need another 50 at least, or 51.
10 and over gets you to 149.
Right,
So that's essentially what you're looking for.
correct.
The next hitter who would be coming in, you would think would be who?
I think it would be Sonu. That was our plan, kind of like to get Sonu in after the 12th over or so. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Your biggest accomplishment on the cricket field?
I think being named and being able to lead the Team USA in the over 60 World Cup in Australia in 2022, that was absolutely a dream come true.
Amazing.
I mean, in my college days, I was happy to be in the squad that was captained by Ravi Shastri in our college. So that was definitely a proud moment also.
Sure.
But with studies kind of like being a priority at that time, could not pursue cricket as much as I would have liked to. And I came to US at a very young age, right after finishing my bachelor's for doing my MBA there in Ohio. So cricket kind of like took a backseat, and for almost 7-8 years, I didn't even know that cricket was being played in LA. So I missed out on the opportunity when, so to say, I was in my prime playing time. But I think the over 60 being captain of Team USA and representing the country was a big matter of pride and a dream come true. And I think that I would rate it as my biggest accomplishment. So
Tell me about that. Talk about that tournament, the over 60s World Cup.
yeah, so this was kind of like a World Cup held in the inaugural World Cup for over 60 held in Australia, and 12 countries
How good is that, by the
participated.
way?
Oh, great. Okay, well done, team.
Sure.
Let's get the next 50 now. So 12 countries participated, and obviously Team USA was the new kid on the block. But considering that we did not outstanding, not too bad, we were right in the middle of the table. And but again, kind of like it was a lot of fun, a great experience, and made friends from different countries who we are still in contact with via Facebook or some other social media. So again, that was kind of like the biggest feather and the biggest thing, where you get to play against international players. Some of them had played at a very high level, especially like the Indian team had 7 ex-Ranji Trophy players.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was amazing, and I had a good game against India, so I'm happy.
Sure.
So, and it was like the game that we played against India, I was kind of like just joking around that one is my motherland and one is the like in our language we call it Karma Bhumi and Janma Bhumi. So one is where you have worked and you have earned your livelihood, and the other one is where you have been brought up and your heart still kind of like is lying with the motherland basically. So
Sure.
it was kind of like a win-win in that sense. Kind of like didn't matter which team, kind of like it was a lot of fun to play against India also though. Yeah.
Who else is on that? Excuse me, the over 60s team for the US.
Who was that?
Who were the other teammates? That you had?
Janak Patel, myself. We had Masood. We had Wayne Copeland, David Martell. We had a
You said
lot of people who are still very active.
Sure, Wayne Copeland.
Yes.
So that is the brother of Clint.
I,
Pretty sure.
I believe so,
From
yes.
Trinidad, yes.
Yeah, from Trinidad. Exactly right. Yes, yes,
Definitely.
yes.
He's
Great all-rounder, great person, a friend for last 30 plus years now.
fantastic.
Yeah. So we were all together there, and we kind of like I said, we were the new kids on the block for this tournament, but we did fairly well. So yeah.
So I don't know Wayne very well. I've met him, and of course he's a fine gentleman.
Yes.
I know Clint his brother
Yeah.
very well.
Okay, I see. Okay.
I first met Clint. I talked about my son earlier when
Sure.
he was playing cricket. He was 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
And he was playing in a U12 tournament in Dallas.
That is amazing.
The opposition coach was Clint Copeland.
Mm.
Brought the team from California.
Okay, San Diego probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smoked us.
Oh.
Absolutely drilled us. It was not pretty.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Immediately when the game was finished,
Mm.
Clint walked over, introduced himself to me and my wife,
Mm-hmm.
and then took Jaden, my son, to the side and said, here are a couple of things that I think you can work on.
Tips.
He literally
Wow.
coached him for about 5 minutes. A player of a team that he just beat.
Oh, wow. That is so nice of him. Such a lovely gesture. And you remembered this after all these years because it was such a lovely gesture on his part. And
Oh, my
it's
goodness,
so
yes.
heartening to hear these stories because there is something beyond just cricket at that point. It is just the thought process, the good wishes, the vibrations that you want to pass on. That is so important. So
I will say some of that is because we were the only 4 West Indians out there. Some of that is that.
okay.
But the rest of it is that's who Clint is.
That's so heartening to know. I don't know Clint, but I know Wayne, and Wayne also is very fine in that sense that he will help anybody and everybody who approaches him.
Yes.
And he still coaches the kids in San Diego, travels with them all over the country, and fine gentleman. Wayne has won so many man of the match awards in different tournaments, including at the World Cup level. So I mean, he's a tremendous cricketer and a fine human being. Yeah.
Fantastic. And by the way, as we speak, Clint has a team in Prairie View, and they're playing
Oh,
right now.
okay. Very
So,
interesting.
I leave to go back to Austin when I leave here today. So on the way
Okay.
out, I'll stop by in Prairie View, and I probably won't have a beer with Clint because then I'll have to be driving back to Austin.
Yeah. You better not then. Yeah.
But let's just say one of the better people that you'll find anywhere on the planet.
Got
And
it.
is
Got it.
just so,
Okay. That's so good to
pleasing.
hear.
Oh,
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, so back to this game.
Yes.
It's getting interesting. So there was a wide from the second ball, and then there you had a couple more runs.
Yes.
So now you're at 112.
Inching slowly but surely.
Another 38 runs puts you at 150.
Yes.
So let's see how close you can get. Down to the last 22 balls. Can you score 38 runs in 22 balls?
I think they should really kind of like go after pretty much everything that comes at them now.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. Because no point in saving the wickets behind, and I want Sonu to come in the middle. So I think they should take their chances and go after everything now, because that is critical.
Oh my goodness. So the bowler is Sushil Bhatt.
There you go. There you go.
It should just be
Oh,
one.
but just a one, huh? Oh, good running. Let's hope he makes it. Yes. Oh, he dropped the bat, but luckily he was in.
Dropping the bat won't help anything.
That
at
won't
all,
help.
but-
No, that scared me there for a second. I said, "Oops!" Did I say it too early? But finally, he had his ground. So
Yes. Okay, so a couple more runs. Things are moving. Things are
Yeah,
moving in the right direction.
That's what we want. 2 runs every ball now. Oh,
That's going to be a bye.
yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Bye.
So you said earlier you played under the captaincy of Ravi Shastri. What
Yeah, I
it
was in
like?
the squad for college. And I mean, at that age, kind of like he was just kind of like going after every bowler also. He was a very attacking batsman. But in fact, I met him 1 week before he flew out to New Zealand, Auckland test when Dilip Doshi and Shivlal Yadav got injured.
Okay.
And they were talking about replacing them. Ravi Shastri was definitely a contender. And when I met him in the principal's office, I said, "Ravi, are you going to be flying out to New Zealand?" And he just modestly said, No, they just talk about all these things. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I said, when Sunil Gavaskar and K.N. Prabhu, who was a journalist for Times of India at that time, when they have kind of like said that we need Ravi Shastri in Auckland, it's going to happen. And within
Wow.
1 week, he flew out.
Wow.
And-
Gone.
Oh.
That is a brilliant piece of work.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
keeper did an absolutely brilliant job. That's Nikunj Patel. And that throw came in from the outfield.
Wow.
He was square of the wicket with his gloves on
Oh, my goodness.
and had a direct hit.
Wow. That is amazing. Excellent keeping. Excellent.
Absolutely brilliant. So you
That's
wanted 2 runs off of every ball.
Yeah.
That's what we were going for.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
unfortunately, that is the end of, I believe that's Mahesh who was run out.
Yeah, I'm sad to see him get run out like that and get out like that. But I'm kind of like also excited to see Sonu in the middle now. So let's hope that he lives up to my expectations also. But yeah, nevertheless, I mean, run out on a smart play by the wicket keeper
Sure.
is definitely kind of like he deserved the wicket there. So yeah.
So that's a big partnership.
It was a good
The
partnership.
biggest
Yes.
partnership of the innings.
Yeah, it was a good
It
partnership.
was worth
Yeah.
46 runs. And so this is the man that you're banking on to do all the damage the rest of the way.
Did Sanjay just come out retired?
No, he was run out.
Oh, then who? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Right.
He's the one who got run out. No,
Right.
I saw him go out. That's why I was wondering kind of like what was going on. He probably had to change his bat or something.
Got
Okay.
it. Got it.
Got it. Okay.
So Manoj is the one who you think is going to be hitting big.
No.
No.
Sonu.
Sonu.
Lakwinder.
Sanjay is still at the wicket. The man who's coming in now. According to my number, okay, so my
Okay, I think
my
that's-
notes with the numbers are probably off.
Yeah.
So they'll update the scorecard. Okay, it says Lakwinder is who came in just now.
Correct.
Okay, good.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. So at the wicket is Sanjay, and
No. It's not Sanjay. That's wrong.
so that's wrong. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Down the leg side, that is a wide.
Yeah,
so
we'll
2
take
runs,
that.
2
We'll
bonus
take
runs.
that. Yeah. That's all that matters right now. I just want 2 on every ball. That's all. Yeah, and I'll take a 4 if it comes in between also.
So you get 2 bonus runs there. So 2 runs from the over, and it hasn't officially started yet. Still 6 balls to come.
Correct. I love that extra ball.
So this is your hitter you're expecting.
That's right.
Ooh.
Oh,
Those are going to be...
stayed low there.
Yeah,
Mm.
it did. It's going to be a bye, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yep.
You're right.
There it is. Umpire Owen Brown.
Yep. It's a bit overcast today. There was actually initial forecast which showed some precipitation for tomorrow, which scared me, but it changed after that. So I think it's going to rain in Houston, but Pearland is okay. Otherwise, that would have messed up our games tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, huge swipe and a miss.
That should have connected.
So the scorecard says Manoj and Sanjay.
Cor-
And you're saying...
No,
that
it's
that's-
Manoj and Sonu now.
It's Manoj and Sonu.
Yep.
Got it. Last 4 balls coming up in over number 18. You're running out of balls here, Mr. Gandhi.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss of words. Keep running.
There is no way they'll run for 2 here.
No. And actually, I want Sonu to take the strike, so that's okay.
Gotcha.
I'm banking too much on him.
All right. So last 3 balls coming up here in over number 18. So you're down to the last 15 balls of the innings. Is 154 still on the cards? Ooh, top edge. They're going to run a single there. Ooh, it's going to get by. Do they run 2? Yes.
They should go for...
There's no way.
No way. No. I thought maybe Manoj had to go to the danger end, so it was a wise call not to take
Sure.
the... Yeah.
So 123 for... Scorecard says 5. I thought it was 4. I might be incorrect there, but
Okay. Yeah, I think it was should have been 4. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not sure where 5 came from.
Oh,
Ooh, was that an edge? That may have been an edge.
could be a missed chance there. Yeah.
But anyway, it was a thick enough edge that
But-
it flew away from the keeper, but a dot ball.
Yeah, but the ball is kind of like staying low at times, and it's very difficult to know what to expect on the bat there.
So this is the last ball of the day from Hemant Patel. Open the bowling. And here is his last ball. Single. You are down to the last 12 balls. You have 124 runs on the board.
150 might not be on the board.
150 won't happen, you don't think?
No.
The current run rate 6.89. That projects to a score of 138.
That's more in line, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like you'd be a little bit short there.
I think the ball bounce is a little bit uneven for Sonu's hitting. I think he needs the ball coming to him at a good height, and that might be the difference there.
When you bowl, who are going to be your key bowlers?
We will definitely be counting on Paresh Patel to open the bowling.
Okay.
And if he gets going, he can move the ball well. He's got good speed and everything. And Vikram, Raman and Janak both are good left arm spinners.
Okay.
If they get the line and length going, they can really be effective. So I would say that'll be our key, and then Ajay will be obviously bowling a few. I might toss a few.
Ooh, I get to commentate on you today. So I will tell you, I'm a very hard taskmaster. So
That I know.
we're all nice and friendly here. But if you bowl a loose ball, I will say you bowl a loose ball.
And that's how it should be. Yeah, you say it like it is. That's what it is. So no sugarcoating there. You have to commentate on what you see and what is kind of like happening out there.
I call them as I see them.
You call it as you see it, and that's what I like, man. I tell you.
Ooh, catchable.
Oh yeah, straight to the hands. Straight to the hands.
That is a good catch.
Yeah, straight. I mean, down the throat.
Yes. So you've seen
Good.
some.
Did not
good
have to move an
catches.
inch.
He
really.
did not move a single
No,
inch.
exactly right. Exactly.
So that is
straight.
excellent. That's a great catch. So
Very
who
good
was
catch.
dismissed
Very
there?
good.
That was Manoj.
Manoj gone.
Okay. Well, you can't fault him for trying, throwing his bat at it. So the end of the day with the bat for Manoj, score of 125 means that partnership was worth 8. You probably wanted a bigger partnership than that. And so now who's coming in? If I go by the number, it says Riaz Qureshi. Is that right? Is that Riaz?
No.
So the numbers are 15.
That's Vikram.
Vikram.
Vikram Raman in the middle now.
Vikram Raman. So he's 14 on here, but he's actually 15.
That's what it looks like. I mean, I'm going by the demeanor and the body structure here. Can't see too well, but looks like Vikram, yeah.
So you all are intentionally trying to confuse me is the deal here.
I'll have to tell my team, you better not be messing around with all these t-shirts here. You're throwing the umpire and the commentators off now. Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Full and straight.
What was that?
Whatever his name is, or whoever he is.
I think I better go and pad up. Lovely talking to you. I'll catch up with you later. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, my friend.
Always a pleasure. So, boy, it is always so good to have good friends on the mic, but unfortunately we just lost Mihir Gandhi because he needs to go pad up all of a sudden. So this innings is not going the way that the LA Knights would have wanted it to. 2-2, full and straight, and knocks back the stump of the new batter. And all of a sudden, we will be looking at a new batter. And for the third time this weekend, we could potentially see a hat trick. So the new batter coming in, I'm going to go with what the scorecard says. That was Vikram Raman, who was bowled first ball. The new batter will be announced as soon as possible. According to me, that is Janak Patel. And in fact, in looking at the screen, that is in fact Janak Patel. So, Janak Patel joins Lakwinder Singh Sonu. Captain joins his wicketkeeper batter. And his job number one here is to stave off a hat trick. And you would think that even though you certainly are in the position of looking to stave off a hat trick, scoring runs is still the need of the day. Short delivery, going to be outside the line of off stump. And relatively inconsequential delivery from the standpoint that you did not get the hat trick that you were looking for. But it is a dot ball, so things do get more and more difficult here for the LA Knights. 125 for 6. Well, the scorecard says 125 for 7. So let's not worry about the wickets just now. Let's just look at the score, as that's a single to short third. And Janak Patel and Lakwinder Singh are now going to try to reconstruct and put together something that is worth bowling at. 1 ball remaining here in over number 19. So 7 balls remaining in the entire innings. And I think that you will see some things related to big hitting coming up potentially from Lakwinder Singh. Oh, he tried to go for the big hit. It's a thick inside edge, and it trickles into the offside, into the leg side rather. In fact, it was actually a leg by. So, a leg by on the last ball. 3 runs come from that over and 2 wickets. So, brilliant bowling by Sushil Bhatt. That is his last over, meaning he's only bowled 2, but that was the penultimate over of the innings. So, somebody else will take up the attack for the last over. And the LA Knights are 127. Make that 127 for 7. JV Vakil, 3 overs in the books, going at the rate of 7 and over. Coming into bowl the last ball, or the last over rather. This is played away into the offside. A lot of work for the sweeper to do. Fancy footwork. 2 runs. Always get nervous when you see a fielder in the deep running to try that football style stop. And I only get nervous because of that, because on a cricket field sometime several years ago, that's exactly how I broke my ankle. So stepping on a cricket ball and having your ankle roll is generally not a good thing to have happen. But so far, thankfully, we have not seen that yet. That is a good-looking shot. Strike down the ground. That is the first 6 of the match. Actually, no. There's been 2 sixes earlier, but you saw those 2 huge 6s from Paresh Patel earlier. That is the first 6 since that happened. And that is a good-looking strike from Lakwinder Singh. And you heard when Mihir Gandhi said that you expected some big hitting from this young man. You saw evidence of it there. Next delivery. Played back past the bowler. Do they push for 2 here? You would think they would have to push for 2. Yes, they come back for that second run. And oh my goodness, there is a second run that is a run out. But you don't mind that very much, because the primary objective there was to get Lakwinder Singh back on strike. And at this stage, you don't mind him facing the last three balls of this innings. And so a new batter is coming in now. I believe that Mihir Gandhi, who left the commentators' area several minutes ago to go pad up, I think he's still just spared, doesn't quite need to come to the wicket just yet. But ultimately, I think the bigger issue there is that you wanted to have Lakwinder Singh back on strike. And you have exactly that. And so here he is back on strike. He will be joined at the wicket by the incoming batter, who is, according to this, and the scorecard is all over the shop, my apologies, but according to this, it's Amit Patel who is coming to the wicket. And so Amit Patel, who is at the non-striker's end. And importantly for the LA Knights, Lakwinder Singh Sonu is going to be back on strike. So you had to come back to get him on strike. Here he is. What can you do here? Very full. Played back to the bowler. That's a good old-fashioned bump ball. Spectator's catch. But importantly, it's a dot. So here is the next delivery. Who did not get anywhere near the middle of that. It comes off the outside edge. And they'll get, coming back for the second run, they'll get there now. No issue there. 11 runs from the over so far. And the last ball coming up, 138 runs on the board, according to my unofficial number here. The scorecard hasn't quite caught up with us yet. We'll see exactly what you have here. Here's the next ball. This should be the last ball of the innings. In the deep, mid-wicket is there. That is Faisal Akhtar. Ooh, fumble, throwing back to the non-strikers end. That's going to be run out by some distance. So 1 run to the good for the LA Knights. And officially, or unofficially, I have 139 for 8. We'll see what the scoreboard ends up with. But I believe that that's exactly what the score is, 139. In fact, we can go through the full scorecard because the LA Knights, I thought, were in position for a while there to get a good number, but ended up falling apart at the end. Ajay Gariali top scoring with 40 from 38. Paresh Patel had a couple of big sixes, but only scored 15. Roshan, a good old friend from right here in Houston, 10 from 14. Mahesh Sukumaran, 28 from 24. The scorecard says Sanjay Narang, but I believe that's Lakwinder Singh, who scored 27 from 27, run a ball. And Manoj, 1 from 3. Vikram Raman was out first ball. Janak Patel only faced 2, was run out. Amit Patel actually did not face any balls. So that is the end of the innings. A 10 to 15 minute break, and we'll see whether or not the Georgia Titans can overhaul a target of 140. See you soon. Welcome back to the. I was about to say welcome back to the Prairie View Cricket Complex. This is absolutely not the Prairie View Cricket Complex. This is Moosa Stadium, the first privately owned cricket stadium in the entire country. Fantastic facility. And we're about to see whether or not the Georgia Titans can overhaul a target of 140. Opening batters are Hemant and Anand Patel. Oh, though, look at that drive down the ground. Elegant, over the top, all the way for 4. So the first delivery, there was a dot ball, appeal for leg before that was denied by umpire Myron James, and then the next delivery lofted straight down the ground by Hemant Patel for 4. So he opens his account with an imperious shot right down the ground. Opening batter, make that the opening bowler for the LA Knights, is Paresh Patel, left arm over the wicket. You saw him bat earlier. And as I always say, it takes a special athlete to be able to open both the batting and the bowling in cricket. And you've seen good stuff from Paresh Patel right now. But he's now going to be asked to restrict the scoring going into the innings, obviously with a target of 140. That translates to exactly a run rate of 7. Off to a good start here, the Georgia Titans. 5 runs on the board from the first 3 balls. And again, the opening pair of Hemant Patel and Anand Patel are going to do their best to sort of do what they need to do to overhaul this total. Once again, this is the knockout stages. That's clipped away down the leg side. A little too straight from Paresh Patel. Won't reach the boundary, I don't think. They'll get 2. Do they come back for 3? They do come back for 3. That's good running, particularly from make that Hemant Patel, because he certainly is the one running to the danger end. And as we always talk about, it's the fact that each of the players in this tournament is over the age of 40, and then the majority of the players are going to be over the age of 50. So running 3s at this age is certainly not something that is easy. Next delivery, slower through the air, goes for the sort of, I don't know whether or not you'd call it a drive. He sort of stuck his bat out there, but missing on that attempted shot. Last ball coming up here in over number 1. So again, you're looking for a target of 140 to win this match. And the LA Knights are going to be looking to see if they can restrict the Georgia Titans. Look at that shot down the ground, but there's a man down there. Lands short of him. Long off coming around to his left to clean up. And that is a single that closes things out over number 1 in the books. Long way to go, but a positive start here for the Georgia Titans. 9 without loss. So again, 1 over in the books. The Georgia Titans are looking to overhaul a target of 140. Opening batters are Hemant and Anand Patel both. And it's going to be Vikram, Raman, bowling from the southern end of the ground, the Massey Ranch Road end. Left arm around the wicket between the umpire and the stumps. Hammered away for 4. That is a good looking strike racing through the covers. Maybe just a touch too full that time. You always take a chance when you bring a spinner on to bowl inside the power play overs, because any bit of looseness in either line or length, and you don't have much protection in the deep. And that time, Hemant Patel taking full toll of that ball. He now races along to 10 from 6. You've seen him score a couple of boundaries already, Hemant Patel. And you're going to want to make sure that you keep that ball out of his zone, because if it is too full or if it's too straight, that causes trouble. There are two men in the deep, one at long off, one at deep extra cover. So that certainly implies that you want to bowl a line outside the line of off stump. But in bowling that line, you cannot bowl it too full, because if it's too full, then what you just saw will happen. He'll drill it through the offside for 4. And again, nobody in the deep exactly where that ball went. You do have coverage on the offside, but you certainly don't want to make that mistake. Now, that's a lot better. If you want to bowl it full, it has to be so full that the batter cannot get underneath it. And that's what you saw there. So it's a really tight margin, almost no margin for error. And again, you certainly, with a spinner, you don't have the option of sort of being able to maneuver the ball in many ways. But this next one is turn down the leg side, get a couple. What I mean by that is, as a spinner, you don't have a lot of margin for error. If a pace bowler misses his length or his line, really more so his length, pace bowler misses his length, there's less time for the batter to react. So you can sometimes get away with missing your length as a pace bowler, especially if you're quick enough. But as a spinner, with the ball coming through that slowly, you have to land that ball exactly where you're trying to land it, because if you make a mistake, either too short or too full, then the batter is much more capable of taking advantage. So starting out with a boundary, but then 3 good deliveries after that, just 2 runs from the next 3 deliveries. How well does he close out here? Still 2 balls to go, 6 runs from the over already. And he plays this into the offside, just a single. You're looking to, again, overhaul a total of 140. So you need another 124 needed in the next 109 balls. A required rate of 6.83 should not, in theory, be much of a threat. And so you would think that just normal batting and just pushing the ball into the gaps, and both of these players, Hemant Patel and Anand Patel, are among the younger players in the side. And you would think that they should be able to maneuver the situation to their advantage. That is the end of over number 2, 16 without loss. Back to Paresh Patel. Goes big. Catchable? No. Landing short of the man at deep, long off. They'll get a couple more. Paresh Patel is keeping the ball on the fuller side. You don't necessarily mind him keeping it on the fuller side as long as it's not exactly in the half volley range. What I mean by that, from this end, the ball will be helped by the wind coming in from the south. And so even with fielders at long on and long off, this is down the ground. It's down the throat of long off, and he puts it down. So you recognize the fact that you have the long on and long off in position, so you're expecting him to bowl a fuller ball. I don't know necessarily that that's the best option because the wind is helping the ball to carry from this end. But having said that, that really should have been taken by the fielder at long off, and they'll get another couple of runs. So he may consider himself lucky there, Hemant Patel, 17 from 12. And then Patel, surprisingly, has only faced 2 deliveries. And from those 2 deliveries, you have only 3 runs from his standpoint. Ladies and gentlemen, I am in the presence of greatness. I cannot believe my birthday was, this is April, so my birthday was about a month ago.
Christmas time.
But Christmas and my birthday all in one.
Oh my God! You need better gifts than this. Come on.
To my left, there is the captain of the Georgia Titans, Mr. Kalpesh / Junior Das. In fact, I first learned your actual name probably 2 days ago when I was looking at the team sheets. To my right, some guy who is a professional musician and spends his spare time playing cricket. So the question for me is, which one of them do I talk to first?
The professional. The captain. The professional.
Mr. Faisal Akhtar, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. As great as I can after 4 consecutive cricket matches. So, yeah, it's a marathon.
I said this earlier when I was talking to Mihir Gandhi. When I played cricket here in Houston, I played 40 overs. I would play a 40-over match on Sunday. I wouldn't be right until Thursday. So how do you, who is comfortably older than I was in my 30s, manage to play 4 straight cricket matches in one weekend?
It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. I tell you what, this is really, hats off to all the guys out there. I mean, there are guys older, like there's a couple of guys in the 60s out there. So it's remarkable.
Janak Patel,
yeah,
in their 60s.
Remarkable. I mean, these guys are out there. So if they can do it, I can too. But, I prefer some rest. But since that's not available, just got to suck it up and do it.
Mr. Captain, same question for you.
Well, we signed up for this. That's all I can say. We weren't forced to do this. We signed up for this. So, I mean, I know Faisal Bhai says his mind over matter, but he's here because he wants to do this, right? So, I mean, this is what he wants to do. Like you said, this is his side gig, but he's pretty darn good at it from what I understand, and that's why he's here. So it's the passion, and what a lot of people don't know, I'm in Memphis and Arkansas area, and Faisal Bhai is in Dallas, but we went to University of Arkansas together. Years ago.
Did not know that.
Years ago, neither one of us had any grays back then.
Yeah.
The Reagan administration.
Yeah, it wasn't the Reagan administration.
Well, it was actually George Washington.
Yeah. We're fossils in this field right now, man.
I came with the the red coats, and I converted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So once again, we've been playing since then. None of us are forced to come here. It's a passion for this game. And what a stage Veterans has created to get this mix of players, 40s, low 40s, higher 40s, 50s, 60s. It's fun to mix all these players. It's one thing to play same age group. When you mix them up, it makes it more competitive. And you see the fitness out there. People are eager for these tournaments. Sometimes, I do the same. When I'm done with tournament, 2-3 days.
Nicely cut away by Anand.
Very nice shot.
He's going to reach the boundary.
Yes, sir.
That's one of his favorite shots.
Excellent. Cut shots.
So the fielding side doesn't know that. They're in for trouble.
That's right. But what I was saying, after these tournaments, most of us just let it literally hang down. We're just relaxing for 2-3 weeks. And when these tournaments come again, we feel like Rocky Balboa. We're out there training 2-3 weeks in advance. I mean, the fitness level it takes to be here. It's just it's motivation. And,
Well,
and like I said,
also, Kalpesh bhai, that one of the other motivations to play on turf wickets
Oh,
and on
yes,
such
sir.
great facilities like Moosa Stadium, and
Stadium.
PV. So I mean that itself is a pleasure to be,
I don't know what we did, but we got 2 games in Moosa this weekend. I feel very blessed that I could enjoy that with my team. But yeah, excellent facilities, man. We love playing here.
So, Mr. Captain, Mr. Kalpesh. I don't even know how to call you Kalpesh. I know you're Junior.
Junior.
Junior, this is your second innings. Your son is still in his first innings. Tell me how he's doing.
He's doing great. He's finished college. He's graduated. He's got a nice job, making good money. So he's taking it easy, relaxing on cricket at the moment, taking a break from it, getting married
Cut away
soon.
again.
So, yes, sir. They're at that age now. But yeah, both the boys are doing good. Playing local level cricket, killing it, obviously.
So I know Sam. I don't know that I know your other son,
Kishan
Kishan.
Das. Yeah, he's been in the circuit for a while as
Okay.
well. He's opening batsman, wicket keeper. But he played on Faisal Bhai's team in Dallas a couple of times along with Sam.
Very interesting. So
Shot, yeah.
that is a lovely shot, but they
Straight
know
to the rim.
they know that's where he wants to play.
That's right.
The scouting department, they have all those fancy.
Brian's giving all our secrets away.
So, what is the balance like as the parent of cricketers between wanting them to what
Shot,
an
yeah.
absolutely
Once
brilliant
again.
shot. Talk about the balance between seeing your sons succeed on the field and knowing that at some point their athletic career needs to come to an end, and so supporting them with what comes after that.
Definitely. So when they were younger, we basically didn't have our own careers. We were following them everywhere, get them to where they are now. Right. So now that they're on their own, we start our career now. Thus, the second inning for us, the veterans level. Right. So, but yeah, I mean, once they're on their own, doing what they want, having a nice job, starting their own life, I mean, it's a proud moment.
Oh my God, yes.
On top of that, we feel free.
Well,
We can do what we want to do
I
now,
think you're
right?
talking to a soccer dad who's got 2 3.
Yeah, he's yeah. But he's not there yet. He's not there yet. He's on his way there.
So, somewhere, Faisal, on my computer, actually on Facebook, I still have a computer. I still have a picture
Of me.
of, no, not of you, but of Jaden when he was maybe 8 years old,
Oh yeah.
wearing the cap. What was the team that you
Gladiators.
wearing a Gladiators cap?
Yeah.
Back then, I was thinking, okay, when I get to be the age I am now, 57, that Jaden is going to be among the best cricketers in the country. Took a left turn somewhere, ended up playing soccer. I don't know how happy I am with that, but
Well,
tell me about what you think when you see kids who you have seen from
yeah.
infancy
oh my God, yeah.
now being in college and,
there are
beyond.
many, and there are many of those. There are many kids that I have seen since diaper days, and now they're playing very good cricket, or they're in college, or they're getting married.
Yes.
It's very fulfilling actually to see them. I just want to see kids grow up as good human beings first.
Oh, yes.
And respect their parents. Be a you've got to set as a parent set a good example and make sure they grow up good. I think cricket and professions, all those things come secondary. But I feel blessed that all the kids that we have mentored or seen,
Yes.
they've all come out really as excellent human beings.
It makes such a difference to me. And by the way, it's not been that long ago that man who is now bowling, Roshan,
Uh-huh.
and I had several battles here in the Houston Cricket League. He was among the most difficult batters for me to bowl at. And when I played, I was a left arm fast bowler, and he loved pace. And he would send me to the cleaners every match we played against each other.
Oh no!
And he's actually also a very good bowler.
There he is.
So, for somebody who, I'm comfortably retired.
You're a media guy. You've taken this U-turn in this gig. I mean, we are with a famous guy right now. Junior bhai.
Yes, sir.
This guy's on ESPN and all that. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna even know who we are after a while. I'm gonna have to keep those. I'm gonna have to keep those pictures handy just to remind him, like,
You may not get on there.
like we are those little people you stepped on to get to the next level.
Speaking of pictures,
Are we doing a picture?
you might want to describe what I'm doing.
This picture.
Mr. Kalpesh Junior Das. Wait, let me hold my stomach in. There we go.
There we go.
That is a
That's a good
selfie.
Getting my picture.
Yeah. Please keep that because we're gonna need that when this guy's gone to Hollywood.
Anyway, so a very long way of saying the relationships that have been developed over the years. That is a good looking shot.
By the way, I think
may
they've
not
given
reach
up,
the boundary.
but the ball might not reach the boundary.
So the relationships that have been developed over the years, both from the standpoint of just people who you know on the cricket field and people who you meet, let's say after your playing days were finished. You and I met after I'd stopped playing.
Yeah, you stopped.
Actually, no, I was still playing, but that
Barely.
was when I was
Yeah.
on the. Let's just say I was an administrator, and we'll
Yeah.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
But it is so important.
You were too good looking for all this stuff, right? I mean, this is for us ugly people. You're like, man, this hurts my skin. I'm gonna give it up.
But for me, the relationships that are built as a result of involvement in the sport transcend anything that any of us
yeah.
could have ever done on the field, and it is so important to
You
me.
know what is the best thing in life? When you're in a different city altogether, you're having lunch somewhere, and somebody comes behind you and taps you on the shoulder, and you look back and it's somebody you played cricket with. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you have no idea how many countries and cities I've been in where I've run into people that been from our cricketing fraternity. It's incredible. I mean, playing is one thing, but the pleasure of knowing great people, making brotherhoods and friendships, it's next level.
So, Mr. Captain, tell me about, given what your former college mate just said, tell me about the last time you're traveling somewhere and someone that tapped you on your shoulder and said, "Didn't I used to play cricket with or against you?"
Actually, no one's ever done that to me. I am not that famous. However, I've done that to several people myself. Hey, where do I remember you from? So, Faisal bhai, I knew
It
pretty
happened
well.
to me last night, actually. I'm having dinner,
Yeah.
and someone taps over my shoulder and says, "Hey, why are you so sad? You made us 50 yesterday." And I look back, it was
They're
Himani.
keeping up with you.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Keeping up with you.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that happens.
I've actually done it to several people.
Yeah.
And you go back, like Faisal bhai and myself, we played, and then for a long time we lost contact. I was playing over there, Faisal bhai was playing in Dallas, and then we finally, we see each other. I say, "Hey, I remember we used to play together." So I've done that to several people and find out that we've in fact played in the same league. But man, after so many years, these grays pop up
Yeah.
and our skins go this way, that way. Stomach
Bellies.
comes out. Hard to recognize people at times. So they're like, "Yeah, that was you. I remember now." So,
Yeah.
but no, it is great feeling. Obviously, when you meet your old friends, old colleagues that you used to play cricket together with, and in fact getting together and play again with them,
Oh yeah.
it's just a great feeling.
Cut away.
What a
This
good shot,
might
cut
reach
away
the boundary.
behind. Yeah, that should.
And it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this cricket has given me, and I mean all of us, all three of us in this room, so much more than
Definitely.
just the pleasure of playing, but making
it's the connections.
lifelong friendships, and
Connections,
friends and,
definitely.
So it's much more than that, and that's why I don't want to just hang up. Right? I mean, I'll play as long as I'm allowed to.
Sure.
Well, where I see us, at least myself and Faisal Bhai, I think we should start a wheelchair league once we're at that stage. Come out in wheelchairs, just hold the bat. I mean,
Well, I think.
The
my
passion
wife,
is
right?
there.
Nazneen, my wife. I think everybody knows my wife. I
Yeah.
think she's well known all over the U.S. So she says you will be playing until you're 90.
Exactly. I
you're
can
gonna
see that.
Keep playing until
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep pushing you.
I love that. Absolutely love that.
But yeah, it's not just us. I mean, you see these teams that are here, the passion of these players coming in together and playing, just having fun. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Everybody's out here having fun, the camaraderie. It is great. I think enough of us. We should talk about these players on the pitch now. They've been playing for a while. We've been talking for 20
Yeah.
minutes now. So
Oh, there's a game going on.
there's a game going on. Yes, sir. 5.3 overs, 41 runs, no wickets.
Hey.
Hemant Patel is on 22. Anand
Doing
Patel's
great.
on 17. They're doing a great job, great use of the power play.
Oh, that was a good ball. Was there to be driven, but
Yeah, he just
this
missed it.
Moosa pitch, the ball stays low, so you really have to get on the front foot.
Number one, the ball stays low, but number two, there are not very many demons in the wicket. Not a
No,
lot
it-
of sideways
It's pretty
movement.
much like a cement pitch.
It's a flat road.
Yeah, it is. It is. Ooh, was trying to go for the big one.
So you, Faisal, have been to Jamaica a lot.
Oh yeah.
Jamaica may have officially adopted you by now.
Yeah.
This pitch reminds me in some ways of the old Savannah Park pitch,
Yeah.
where you could literally see your reflection. in it.
This really actually reminds me of Sharjah pitch.
I've never been to Sharjah, so I'll take your word for it.
But just look up all those videos from the old days when they used to play Wasim Akram and all. You could comb your hair looking at at the pitch. Some people shaved on the pitch.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this. Current score 42. You need another 98. The target is 140.
Yeah.
So for the first time, the required run rate at the start of the innings, the current run rate, and the required run rate are all 7.0.
Wow.
I don't know that I've ever seen that happen.
Lucky seven.
Man.
Lucky seven.
So
We have-
frame this moment.
Yeah, we're going with the measured approach.
As it was planned.
Hey, all's well if it ends well.
So, by the way, let's talk about this. The fact that both of you are in here, does that mean that you're so confident in the batters that are coming that neither of you will be needed with the
we
bat?
are.
The team's on autopilot right now.
We are.
Hopefully, we got a
I'm
couple
going
of guys.
for a nap after this.
Well, when Faisal Bhai was approached, tapped behind the back, say, "Didn't you just score 50?" And then when I heard that, I've told Faisal Bhai, "You've done your job. Now we need to rest."
Yeah, now let other people.
That's,
make
yeah,
the
that's why
peace.
we're here
I
right
was
now.
like,
Need you anymore.
you
We're
are
gonna go
victim of your
bug
own
grind for a bit.
success. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
life story.
No, Faisal Bhai should be going back in the dressing room soon. He'll be coming out. Hopefully, no need, but he'll be
Yeah,
coming
hopefully
out
no
soon.
need.
Yeah.
The way these two guys are playing, and there's risk-free.
Well, with the field opening up now, let's see young legs, see what they can do. Now, both of these guys are in the 40s age group, so
So Hemant is between 45 and 50.
both of these guys are between 45 and 50.
they
Yes,
both are.
yes, sir.
Call me sir. What is this? What are you talking
Well, I'm talking to a famous guy, so I got to show respect.
Oh, goodness.
All right, let's play predict the ball. How about that? Let's play this game. So next ball, I will say that it will go towards cover point. That's my guess. Okay.
You're not exactly taking a chance with that
I'm gonna
guess.
say it'll be a double.
He's bowling it's going to go directly to the fielder.
I'm gonna say
Short
two,
extra
two
cover.
runs on this ball.
Short extra
Well,
cover.
there he goes,
What-
bro. There's and it'll be a double. And it's a double.
Hang on.
Woo!
Now, wait, guys. Brian
Hey,
just
this will
brought
be
up.
the best,
Brian,
most
hang on, hang on.
watched comment.
Brian just brought up that we had 777.
Yeah.
And Faisal Bhai is here calling what's happening. Let's go to the closest casino.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's see what we can make out today.
All right, Brian, you're up next.
Outstanding.
Yeah, you're up next. I did my job. What's happening on this ball? No, come on.
My job is to describe what happened, not to
Come on, you're-
predict
you're
what
too
happened.
Chicken. Yeah, this the guy who. All right, I'm going to say
Outside
this is-
edge
oh,
caught
it's a
behind.
dot ball.
Outside edge
It's a
caught
dot
behind.
Ball, dot ball.
Ooh!
Whoa,
I'm glad that prediction did not come true. We don't want no
that
catches.
was an
We
inside
don't
edge,
want no
though.
catches.
Oh, and it went all the way to.
And
Man,
it
what
stopped.
The keeper. is
All
really
the way
hustling.
to the ropes and it stopped short.
Keeper hustled.
Good hustle. Good hustle.
All right, so you lose, I win. Junior Bhai, you're next. Next
I'm
ball.
next.
Next ball.
I'm definitely not going to say any catches here.
Yeah. Junior Bhai, look, I said cover point 2 runs, and that happened. And now you're. I'm not saying that you're under pressure,
No pressure.
but
I'm calling this at cow corner. Over the ropes.
I think you're going to be mistaken.
Over the ropes.
Okay, over the ropes. I
Yes,
like-
sir.
I
Over
like
the
that.
ropes.
But
Cow corner.
it's hard to go cow corner on this pitch.
If I hit that, I'm
un-
definitely going the casino.
Unless it's on the middle and leg. The ball has to be on the middle and leg. And here it comes. Cow corner, baby.
Oh, he was swinging that way. The batsman was swinging that way, but unfortunately, given the caliber of the batsman, he went the other way.
I will graciously accept this award from you guys because I'm
Yes,
the
sir.
only
You win.
one.
You win.
Yeah. This broadcast will go down as the best ever watched broadcast
Yes,
in the
it
history
will.
of
Yes,
broadcasting.
it will. Now, had my prediction come true, I was going to drop the mic and walk out of here.
I was gonna drop the mic, but Brian would have, he's got big hands. All right.
Oh, well played. Well played. Straight to the fielder. No runs. Good throw.
So,
So where are we with the game?
end of over 7, 49 without loss. Everything still sevens.
sevens.
Still sevens.
Wow. So we will be making 7 runs in the last over apparently. And more. Who knows? I might be at the pitch. Come on, guys, get it done.
We need more than 7 right now.
Or as they say, get her done.
Get it done.
Get her done.
We're in Texas.
Wait, you're in Arkansas. They say that there too, don't they?
Man, we're hogs.
Arkansas is like North Texas. for
Go
the most part.
hogs.
So now let me ask you this, and Faisal, I'll ask you this as a former administrator. Yes, we have several welts and bruises over the years from having been in that sphere. I don't think either of us is in that sphere anymore, but I'll ask you this. Despite the rough roads that we've seen and some headwinds that exist, big picture, given that there's now Major League Cricket in the U.S., given that the amount of cricket being played now is more than when you and I were in administration, what's your outlook for the sport in this country long term?
I will say this. I've said this many times. I'll keep saying it until we reach schools,
Yes.
until we reach universities, especially schools, and get the local. And nothing against my kind of people or your kind of people. We will keep playing. Our kids will play, but until we get the local, the whites, the blacks, the Hispanics. The game will grow, but it will not grow to the level that it, like a soccer did. So we got to find a way to bring the game to the schools, and let the kids get interested in cricket, just like baseball. We got to sell it like baseball, and imagine like a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan type athlete that exists freely in this country, taking over cricket. imagine what they could do to the sport.
You and I have talked in the past that, and you just alluded to it, we do a very good job of, let's call it, preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
The choir is already converted. They're
I
on the
know.
stage.
They're already here.
They're already here.
Yeah.
Everybody here is part of the choir.
Yeah.
Very honestly, one of the things that I love about being able to call cricket matches is in some way to preach to people who are not on the choir
Exactly.
and to assist. Okay, you're in Dallas. And I'm going to talk about this young man because I think he is emblematic of what cricket could be in this country. His name is Chase. He is, I'd give Chase maybe early 30s. He's a disabled veteran. He was in the hospital with his father, who has since passed
brilliant
away,
shot, by the way.
unfortunately. Goes
Great
for four.
shot.
Brilliant.
Great shot by Anand. Yes.
So Chase's father passed away, but while he was in the hospital with him for the last several weeks of his life, the patient who was in his room before was apparently was one of us.
One of us?
And
Okay.
so the TV was on Willow.
Oh.
The first time that he saw cricket in any form was when he was in the hospital room with his father. And so he shared the last several weeks with his father watching a sport that neither of them knew nothing about
Wow.
until that day. He now goes to Grand Prairie, to the stadium in Grand Prairie. He goes to every Texas Super Kings match. He goes to every USA cricket match that is played there.
Yeah.
That is a good looking shot. That's four
Great
more.
shot. Great shot for 4.
The reason I'm saying all of this is to say that there is this misconception that, oh, Americans wouldn't understand cricket. That's nonsense.
I mean, my
It's
wife.
insulting, actually.
My wife is living proof.
Yeah, yes, completely.
I mean,
Completely.
she is into cricket. I mean, we just have to take the step. We have to take it to them in the right way. And believe me, once they get into cricket, you have no idea how much money will flow, how many stadiums will be built, how soon you'll be on mainstream media. But we seem to be focused on our own people, and I think that's the wrong strategy.
You actually, right now, we are literally preaching to the choir because I know you and I believe that exactly. And to the extent that both of us know that that's the way to develop the sport, I am comfortable in saying that the more people who can have the mindset that we have,
Yeah.
the better off we as a sport and as a fraternity will be.
Great shot.
Oof. Anyway, so enough about preaching.
Yeah.
And back to this game itself.
Yeah, you took me on a serious note, man. Come on, we were having fun.
We were having fun.
And now all of a sudden I'm thinking like serious thoughts. That's not me. We're here to have fun, you know.
End of over number 8. 60 runs on the board. Current run rate 7.25.
Oh, so it's gone up.
The current run rate has gone up. The required rate obviously has gone down. 6.83. So you need essentially just a little bit more than a run a ball the rest of the way.
Do you think the LA guys, their shoulders are down now?
I think they're running out. Okay, I don't want to be
Options.
harsh. When Mihir Gandhi was in here earlier,
Yeah.
we were talking about the different bowling options that LA would have. And the way that he described it, Paresh Patel would have been one of the more serious bowlers. Vikram also one of the serious bowlers. But this opening pair has now put on 58 runs without any trouble
Yeah.
whatsoever. I do think that they are getting to the point where they may start going to their secondary and their tertiary bowlers, which
Yeah.
is a good position for you all to be in.
Well, let's see what happens this over. I'm going to say, oh, what a beautiful shot. I mean, that is a shot of the day. That is flicked. I don't know if it's a 6.
Six.
Oh, it is a 6.
I did not realize he hit it that well.
I mean, he picked it up. This is all timing.
So that is
Unreal. And that's your best friend bowling too. Oh my God. That's why you're not too happy about this. I see how you are, Brian.
Look, in fairness. Oh, are we taking a water break is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
the ball is
Oh, okay.
somewhere out there.
In fairness, a right-hander bowling over the wicket to another right-hander, if you bowl it at his pads,
It's
that's
gone.
what will happen.
That's, yeah.
Especially to a batter who has faced 19 balls, which doesn't sound like a whole
Yeah.
lot, but he has a good sense of
Well,
how the
he's
ball is coming
timing
out
it
to
well.
the bat.
I mean, he's hit a bunch of balls to the boundary, but they're straight to the fielders. So this one, there was nobody there, and it's a brilliant shot. I mean, it really
Wow.
is.
Absolutely stunning. So then, 66 runs on the board. You need another 74
All right.
in 71 balls. So
Just let me know when you need 36 off of 6. I'll
Then-
go
then
and
you-
no, I'll go and bowl.
I was about to say, you'll put the
Then-
back down
yeah.
and go pad up.
No, I'll go bowl. If the other team needs 36 from 6, then I'll go bowl.
I will. By the way, I am comfortable in saying that today is the first day I've ever seen you bowl.
Oh,
So when did you become a bowler? 'Cause-
well, believe it or not, I have like 300 plus wickets.
what?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you track your wickets.
I didn't. One of my teammates last month,
Yeah.
they were comparing their own wickets. They were chatting, and they said, "Oh, I got 300 wickets. Oh, I got 250." I said, "Check if I." See how it goes.
Yeah.
Hold on. You have 300 wickets? I said, "Yeah. I don't even bowl."
So hold on. This is all in cricket clubs.
Yeah, it's all in cricket club. Just look it up.
I would love if.
Actually, cricket clubs is missing at least 5,000 runs from me.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
It-
so
I'm at 11,000, but I should be over 16 to 18,000.
I will say that somewhere in multiple garages in
People are
Houston,
Googling me right
in
now.
the old scoring books. If you were
Yeah.
to get all of those old scoring books,
Oh my God.
I would get much better figures than what Cricket
I'm-
Club shows
I'm
me is
telling
having.
you, I think I'm missing like 18 centuries from Cricket Club scores.
Well, I'm not missing any
This
centuries.
is no, I have like over around I think 24 or 25 centuries.
24, 25 centuries.
Yeah, but
Wow.
cricket clubs, it's all in those ugly books. Or
Sure. Yes, yes.
But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure that if you were to look me up on Cricket Clubs right now, I have 68 wickets. And
Yeah, because all of them.
68 wickets was a good season for me several years ago.
I'm sure that's nothing.
Yeah. That's at the back end
But
of my career.
That's what the younger guys have such great advantage. All their games are streamed live.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
Ball by ball on cricket clubs. When we were playing, I mean, there were not even birds watching our games. We're writing the scorecard and then the book, and oh my goodness.
I remember it well. Boy. So, a couple of people who would have been in the Dallas area who I'm sure you've either played with and against or know well. Oh, lovely looking shots. The one name that comes to mind, Carl Thompson.
Oh my God, one of my favorites.
Tell me the last time you saw Carl Thompson.
I saw him last year at the, I think, Major League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw him there. I took a picture with him.
I did the exact same thing. I fortunately never had to bowl against Carl Thompson.
Man, I have faced him in his young days. I used to open. And people would say, "Hey, man, you go pad up." It's like, you idiot. You see this mountain of a man, and the ball looks so small in his hand. It looks like a golf ball in his hands.
Carl is comfortably 6'4", 6'5".
I don't know. I stopped counting after 6'2". I just have to look up, and there he is.
Sure. Okay, so that's one. Another would be Orlando Baker.
Oh, Bakes, of course. He's a class act. He's still going strong. One of the people I really respect the most. Great cricketer in every way, and now a great coach.
Oh my goodness. Another who a name I'll throw at you.
Well, if we're talking Jamaicans, how can we forget Davian Davidson?
That's
and
exactly the
and
next
Damien
name I was
Levan?
going for next.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Oh, that's swept. Great.
Nobody out
Is
there.
there nobody there?
Nobody
That's a
there.
4. Beautiful shot, man.
In fact,
Beautiful.
back to this match. What do
Yeah.
you think about bowling that type of delivery with absolutely nobody between? You
what
have
I
long
could-
on and literally nobody else
what
is
I
deep
could-
on the leg side.
What I would like to say is, if I am there, I would like him to do that to me too. Please, I need some free runs.
Tossed up delivery on leg stump with
Yeah.
nobody in the deep.
Well, I'm sure he didn't mean to bowl there, but it ended up well for us, and things are looking comfy. I think I'm reaching my maximum relaxed level right now.
So you're not going to be needed today, it doesn't look like.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope not. I'm good. I'm good. I want the team to win.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so Damien and
Davian.
Davian, tell me what they're doing these days. I've seen
All right, so
Damien on the Damien on
Yeah.
the T20 circuit. Have not
Yeah,
seen much
yeah.
of Davian
So
recently.
Davian, after he moved to California, I think he had knee issues, and he kind of worked them out. And he took like a couple of years sabbatical, I think, from cricket, and
Okay.
then came back, and now he's scoring runs again. He's a run machine.
Of course.
we call him. I mean, the man is a savage batter. Like, if you don't get him out in the first 2 overs, it's 100.
Forget it. Yep.
So Davian, when he played with us, in just the 5 years that he played for me, or maybe 6 years, he had more than 30 centuries,
Wow.
2 double centuries, and more than 50 50s. I mean,
Unbelievable.
you just can't get any better than that.
No.
And not just me, but everyone in our cricket club genuinely loves and misses Davian. Him not only his batting, but his wicket keeping. Then he'll come and bowl too.
Right.
And he's just a complete package. Oh, brilliant shot by Anand.
Couple. Nope, just one.
That's fine. No need for any heroics.
Sure.
Going well. But yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from him, even though he may not admit that, but I learned a lot from him. And I learned a lot from Damien and Sean Finley. All these guys, I'm not saying I mentored them. They were already pretty great players.
Sure.
But it's just, I have so many good memories with these guys.
Okay, one name that I will also ask you about, who I met at the exact same time that I met you, Big Safraz. How are
Yeah.
you doing?
Well,
Where is he these days?
He is he's just he's working on his businesses. I think he's I haven't seen him in a few years actually.
Oh wow.
So he's no longer in cricket, and just kind of I think he opens Dunkin' Donuts all over the country, and that's what he's doing.
Okay. Is he still in the DFW area?
He does live there, yes.
Okay.
So end of the over. Where are we now?
We're exactly halfway through the chase in terms
Okay.
of the overs. End of 10, 77 without loss. You need
Okay.
another 63 in the next 10. You can do that math. 6.3 and over is
Oh,
what you need the rest of the way.
Even
With
I
10
can-
wickets in hand.
Even I can figure out 6.3. But yeah, that's guys have done a great job. They're batting well. And the bowling hasn't been too bad. They're bowling in the right areas. It's just the guys are batting really well.
And as I alluded to earlier, as you look at the full scorecard, your strike bowlers, if you're
Them.
LA, Parish Patel still has 2, but his 2 overs cost 16 runs. Vikram Raman, one of the better bowlers, 3 overs 22. Roshan, 3 overs 20. And Ajay Gariali, 2 overs 20.
Oh, I've played with Vikram. Vikram has played on our Masters team over 50s when played with the Texas team, actually. I know he's a really good bowler.
Yeah. Interesting. Looks like they're taking a short break. I'm doing the same thing.
I think the people need a break from me, so thank you guys for listening.
So, welcome back to the Moosa Cricket Stadium. The Georgia Titans have this game firmly in control. They are at 77 without loss, needing only another 63 in the last 10 overs. Ajay Gariali bowled over number 10. His 2 overs have cost 20 runs. He's been a little bit more expensive than he would like. Bowling number 11 here is Mahesh Sukumaran, and starts out spraying the first ball down the leg side for a wide. So just another 62 needed now. And this is again outside the line of off stump, but this time umpire Myron James thinks it's within the range that you'd want for it to be in. So just the dot ball. So we did certainly have a diversion there in the process of calling this match, talking about all the different experiences that we've had playing this wonderful sport in the last several years. Faisal Akhtar and Junior Das, 2 of the best people on the planet, and it's been wonderful spending the time talking to them that we did. But as far as this match is concerned, LA Knights are up against it. They certainly have a very difficult job here, and what they're going to have to do is figure out a way to stop the Georgia Titans from marching toward victory. And that's going to be increasingly harder because the Georgia Titans now have 79 runs on the board, only needing another 61 in the next 57 balls with all 10 wickets in hand. And needless to say, that becomes very difficult. Very full. Wanted the big drive. Finds the outside edge. It goes right to Mihir Gandhi at short third. Underhanded throw. You heard Mihir Gandhi talking earlier that he is a former teammate of and played under the captaincy of the great Ravi Shastri. Let's just say it's a lower profile match than those that he used to play in back then. But you also heard him talk about the fact that his proudest moment on the cricket field was leading the U.S. team in the over 60 World Cup in Australia 3 years ago. And that is absolutely brilliant. Last 2 balls coming up here in over number 11. That's worked away into the deep. A long run for short, fine leg. He's not going to be able to prevent 2 runs. The ball doesn't carry all the way to the boundary. They come back for the third. Oh, a direct hit. What happened here? Gone. Oh, look at that. Brilliant work from the keeper, Lakwinder Singh. The ball coming in from the boundary only made it to maybe 30 or so yards. But the keeper, knowing that the fielder running back from the deep did not have a strong arm, went back to meet the ball and then took a shy at the stumps from probably a 45-degree angle. So he only had a stump and a half to aim at. And my goodness, he hits the stumps directly. And the bowlers were not having any success. But sometimes all you need is just a brilliant piece of fielding. And you certainly got that time from Lakwinder Singh Sonu. The first wicket falls. The man who is run out is Anand Patel, and he is dejected walking off the field because he knows that about the only way that they could have gotten a wicket, the LA Knights, is through a run out, and that's exactly what happened. That is the end of the day with the bat for him, and that is going to be the first wicket falling at the score of 82 for 1. A brilliant opening partnership. But it is broken, again, courtesy of a brilliant run out by Lakwinder Singh. So we'll see exactly how the innings progresses from here. I will tell you that Anand Patel will be very disappointed after essentially getting to within 4 runs of his 50. And he would have wanted to get to that landmark, you're sure. But unfortunately for him, a brilliant piece of work behind the stumps. And throwing, you don't see wicket keepers make very much impact throwing the ball. But you see exactly that happen here. 82 for 1 is your score with 1 ball remaining here in over number 11. Here is the last ball. And it's played into the leg side for a single. 83 for 1 is your score after 11. Still comfortably in charge are the Georgia Titans, but I think that you will find that they would have been extremely irritated about having lost that wicket. End of 11, 83 for 1. 84 for 1. So 84 for 1 is your score after 11 overs. 56 runs needed in the next 54 balls. So just about a run and a ball with 9 wickets in hand. The Georgia Titans still completely in charge. And it's going to be the veteran Janak Patel, left arm orthodox, who will be bowling to Devin Harachi. Happened to be joined here in the commentary area by a couple of men you heard yesterday from Kuldeep Patel. And we're now also joined by Mr. Arpan Matele. My apologies. Arpan, good afternoon. How are you? I say afternoon. Actually, it's afternoon in 2 minutes. Yeah. So how are you?
Good afternoon, Brian, and good to be here. Sun has been kind today, so players must be enjoying it. And that could be a wicket. Oh, that was a miss, and it crosses the fence.
So you've played a relatively high level of cricket. Suffice it to say that, and you still play today. Whether in your previous playing days or now, is this a catch that should have been taken?
It was a dolly.
So Hemant Patel, 36 from 40, score now 89 for 1. So tell us a little bit about you, your playing career, and what are you doing these days?
Well, as you know, I grew up in India, central part of India. Mm-hmm. So my craft has been always the slow left arm orthodox. Okay. And I have maybe since my school days, as you know, whenever there's a problem, coach will say, hey, can you open the innings? Sure. I happen to get to open the innings as well. But played for my city, played for my state, and now kind of cricket goes little on the back burner when the compulsions of life you face. So, but I've been in Houston for last 15 years and part of HICC, Houston Indian Cricket Club, mm-hmm. and playing pretty actively, and so still try to go out there and roll my arm over. That's always kind of it's I would say the itch is not going to die till you die, right?
That's a good way of putting it. So HICC, when I lived and played in Houston in the last century, always two things stood out about HICC. Number one, they played their cricket hard, they were aggressive, they were confrontational, and as soon as the cricket match is finished, they bring out the food, they bring out the music, and everybody has a party at the end of the game. Is it still that case?
Yeah, it's still the case, and obviously to make things interesting, sometimes you go a little bit overboard, but it is okay. Yeah, that's the way. Emotions run high, but after the game, be it your team or the opposition, everybody puts their feet up and have a ball. So first you play with the ball, and then you have a ball.
So this guy Kuldeep Patel, you've probably heard of him.
Yeah.
First of all, tell me your thoughts about him as a cricketer, and then any other thoughts that you want to share.
Well, I have only one term for him, and that's what I admire about him. In the field, he's a cunning fox. And that's the way you should be. The most cunning, always analyzing the game and trying to strategize. His brain never stops. Even when he's just standing at short mid-wicket doing nothing, but in back of his mind, something is going on. And sometimes we have played and won many championships together. He will do something very unexpected and the opposition is not ready for it, you know. Like... earlier there used to be seam-up bowlers in our team, and after I came in, it became like he was the first one to start using me as the opening bowler, and it was a very successful move that opposition was not expecting a slow left-armer coming and bowling with the new ball, and invariably we'll get a wicket. So that's how you need to kind of keep strategizing, looking at, and he will suddenly do the topsy-turvy in the batting order. Opposition is there, all the known guns, be it Nanji or the Mehtas of the world will come and play, but suddenly one odd guy out of nowhere comes in, and then... But my association with HICC is also a very interesting story. So I moved to Houston in 2011.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in my office and wondering now. Early before that, I was in North Carolina. So I used to play for North Atlantic Cricket League. So now the H is there, so you have to play cricket.
Sure.
So you go to Google, you search where's the cricket in Houston. Then you find Houston Cricket League, and then you start looking through the clubs. So then I narrowed down on 3 clubs where I should probably ask their club contacts. So first one was Triggers Cricket Club.
Okay.
I called Surya Saladi. He never answered my call. Oh, sorry, Nanda Kumar. Nanda never picked up my phone. Then I called Bhakta Cricket Club. Vinod Bhakta never picked my phone. Then I say, this looks funny. Houston Indian Cricket Club. Okay. Who is the contact? There was a guy called, I don't know, Kuldeep Patel or whatever. So
Right.
So I call Kuldeep Patel and he picks up my call, and rest is history. Since then, I've been playing only for HICC,
And this was 2011, you said?
Yeah, 2011. And that time, that was the first edition of Houston Cricket League, if you remember. And Kuldeep and Ankit, Nanji all used to play for Texans, Houston Texans. Their blue and yellow jerseys. So I went to meet him on Katie Hockley.
Yep.
So that's where, then he tells me, Sunday is your first game, and that is against Triggers. So that's where I ended up playing at Metzgy. And guess what? My first ball for HICC, I took a wicket. The Surya Saladi Plum LBW, first ball. So that's how I started HICC, And everybody's talking, who is this guy? First ball wicket, wow.
Sure.
So that's how, but it's good fun. It's a good community. A lot of Indian, Pakistanis, my friends from Caribbean. That flair I see, like now some of them don't play like the earlier, if you say Jermaine or our friend, who's that? These days he does a lot of umpiring. Obi. Yes, it used to be good fun when Memorial Cricket Club was also there, but a lot has changed these days, right?
Yep.
So that's a kind of a strange phenomenon that's going on. The amateur cricket laced with all the professionals. That's how I would say that's what it is these days, right? Technically it's amateur, but everybody is on somebody's payroll, I would say.
Somebody's payroll.
Yeah.
So you're referring to cricket that was played after I left the Houston area.
Yeah.
I played here from the 90s until when I left, that was probably 2002, 2003, somewhere. No, 2005 is when I left Houston. But when we played, it was all white clothing and a red ball. That
is something I really miss. That I was brought up on the dose of white and one red ball and another dolly goes down. Oh my God. 2 in a row.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward chance that should have been taken. But you talk about when you used to play with a red ball.
Yeah, so I think 2011, 2012 was the last season till when we continued with red ball. And after that, we switched to both the formats, 20 and 40, into white balls and colored clothing. because that is what also now the foundation of US cricket is. But like we see all the flair and across all the T20 leagues across the world with all the players, but the real foundation and people, if they have to learn cricket, they need to play that longer version of cricket, 2-day 3-day cricket with red ball, which is very important. That's where you learn.
Mm-hmm. So you the highest level of cricket that you played in India was what?
I played under 19 and under 17 cricket, state level, so that's what I played.
State level. So you would have played the longer formats of the game.
Yeah, 2-day 3-day games, that's what used to be. And
how important is it for players today? And I'm thinking of players in this country because there is no such thing as multi-day cricket. Everything is limited overs. Everything is, maybe you might have, the majority of it is T20, and you in the bigger leagues you'll have 40 and 50 overs. How important is it in your mind to get the longer format of the game going in this country?
Well, it is absolutely necessary, because in a shorter version, you don't get to encounter the match situation of various different orders. Here, T20, you don't even have a second chance, right? That's how it works. Like, if you drop somebody's catch, and if he then blazes 6 sixes in next 10 balls, and game is done, right?
Yep.
So that's how the game goes. One day, maybe a little bit more, but all the different, how the ebbs and flows of the game, and how you need to strategize. And most importantly, I see even with the kids today, if you want to build that deeper concentrations and all, you have to play multi-day cricket, session after session. Like when you have to grind, like if the batting side is dominating, I'm talking a typical Indian scenario, but you still will have two spinners operating with 3 to 4 men around the bat, that you are still trying to hoping that an opportunity will come your way.
Yep.
But all that will never be. None of them in this today's world, they don't know close catching, how it is to be done, because unless you actually play, you will never see that. Second is, even today's kids in 20 overs, after scoring a brisk 30-40 runs, they need 4 bottles of water, and they are panting like that. Don't be sissies. Come on, get up. It is so you will never experience like what it means to be batting for, say, 2 sessions. I'm not saying that you test is different level, like the likes of Dravids or the Laras of the world, who can just bat 4-5 sessions. That is the extreme, but still bat 1 session. One session is what, at least 30 overs. I would say 99% will not be able to bat 30 overs. So all those things definitely builds that character, and also the like they want, I should not say it, but the effort that goes in and the where you want to reach, you will never reach if you are just focusing on this.
That's a big hit. By the way, in this game that we're watching here, the score is now 1-1-1. 1-1-1 after 15, make that 14.1 overs. 29 runs needed in the next 35 balls. So it feels like only one team is going to win it from here.
So this is another playoff game for the seedings now, right? Who will be ranked where? So I will leave it to somebody more intelligent than me to say where the winner goes. Here, I believe the loser is done. But let's play it down to mid-wicket for a single. Now, back to the point that you were making. How important is it as a batter to be able to graft your way through an innings as opposed to hitting every ball for 4 or 6? Well, in this shorter version, you will have to just at least the bare minimum is need to take run every ball, but to get settled in, and because of this limited over, the bowling that is there is also of different nature. It will be not the test that you have 4 slips and gully and a forward short leg and a new red cherry swinging all over the place. So this is a different game, but yes, that's a big one. That's a 6.
Wow. Brilliant.
Is it who? Myron on the other side? Myron, my
James
friend?
is the umpire at the
Yeah.
northern end. This is Owen Brown at this end.
Yeah.
So just another 21 runs needed. Okay, so then finish that thought. And I'm now thinking about bowling. For people who don't necessarily know the difference between bowling in a multi-day game versus, let's say, a T20, how would you characterize the difference?
The difference is obviously the first is the length, and second is also the mindset with which you bowl. In the multi-day game, the intent is not to restrict. You can experiment more just to try to get a wicket.
Yep.
But in a shorter version, the first and the foremost is to get a dot ball. And also, I tell you my own routine when I was growing up. Even before I can get an opportunity to bowl in the nets to any of the batsmen, it's 42 degrees, 43 degrees, blazing hot in the May Indian summer.
Sure.
My coach will say at 3 in the afternoon,
That is the end of the over. 21 runs came from that over after that boundary, and just another 15 runs needed in the last 5 overs. So you probably need to hurry up and make your point.
yeah. So my point is that, like, for example, I was last Sunday only. There was a bowler in opposite team. He was a kid. I forgot his name, but he was bowling pretty well. He got a couple of wickets as well. But after that, the opposite team figured him out that he was bowling a same length and all, and a little bit. He was kind of totally blunted. So the point is, like, if you are in a multi-day, so my routine was that you have to, before you bowl in the nets, you have to have a single stump,
Okay.
and you have to bowl 90 balls on the trot. So that is
9-0.
15 overs on the trot before you hit the nets. So that is the kind of grind. I would say, like, even in today's world of the guy, you will only bowl 4 overs. From fitness, from your mindset and every standpoint, I would say that everybody should have the stamina and the craft to bowl 16 over on the trot. That's how you will say that then you will be able to bowl your 4 good overs there. But here people will come in the indoors playing with the machine, or that's not, because not much outdoor nets happen these days. That is also something very different from, you will also agree that batting on the turf nets in outdoors is way different from those cemented carpeted nets, because
Yep.
it's a consistent bounce, and
Of course.
and with a good pace it comes, so you can time your shots. But here you have to see every pitch. So this is also going to be 4 more.
So question from, is it 4? Is it going to go all the way? Don't think it went all the way.
So they've run 3.
So question from a listener who wants to know, for those who want to understand what a carom ball is, how would you describe it?
Well, a carom ball, it is just typically especially the off spinners, they use it far more than the left armers, and it's just the grip with the how to describe it, like it kind of with the straight grip and with more use of knuckles, they try to push it through, and it deviates little bit towards the away from the batsman if it's a right-hand batsman.
So let's understand that, because the ordinary delivery from an off spinner turns into
it will drift away and then turn in.
A carom ball drifts in and then turns away.
Yeah.
Opposite. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good
And
information.
yeah, and also the more predominant version of that is I would say carom ball may go a little bit straight also, but the doosra is a far more thing, like in traditional world, even the right arm off spin can also bowl an arm ball which goes straight, or it will just deviate a little bit towards the slip. But
Yep.
the doosra has a lot more. Yeah. Good afternoon to Mr. Shafiq. How's your helmet situation?
So until we hear about Mr. Shafiq's helmet situation, 7 runs came from over number 16. You have 24 balls left in this match. You don't get the sense that you'll need all 24 because 2 runs and over is all you need. You don't get the sense that they'll restrict them to 2 runs and over. Just another 8 runs needed. So maybe, because this next game is going to be between the Texas Red Cobras and the Florida Hurricanes. So maybe in the last 8 runs, Mr. Kuldeep Patel, you can tell us what you're looking forward to the rest of the way.
I don't know, is this mic on right now? Good afternoon, Brian. So what was your question again? I'm lost here.
You're playing next,
Yes.
and this is going to be a 1 versus 2 matchup, yes?
Yes, they are the number 1 seed and we are number 2 seed. Florida had an amazing game yesterday, scoring 200 plus runs against LA Knights, the team you're watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they won by over 100 runs.
Amazing.
And so their net run rate came from all the way from negative to positive, and they became number 1. And unfortunately, our Houston second team, Crick Hubs, was out of the playoffs.
Mm.
You know, before that game, they were in the first place. After the game, they were
Amazing.
moved to
Amazing.
third place. But we have someone else also in the commentary booth that basically does so much for our community. So wanna welcome Rocky to our booth here. So Rakesh is right now currently, Brian, he's chief trustee for Gujarati Samaj of Houston.
Okay.
And he does a lot of things for the community all year round with the temples, all the temples associated around here. And he's a very well-known figure in this town. So he's also a cricket supporter, and always when we have good games, you know, apparently he's also my brother-in-law, but him and my wife only shows up when there's big games and they can be on TV.
Wow, look at this. That 6 leveled the scores. So, Rocky, if you have something to say, you need to say it before the next run is scored. So let's hear from you.
Well, I certainly want to appreciate being here with you guys, Brian, Casey, and Arpan. It is always a great environment here in cricket, and once in a while, definitely I come by and have total enjoyment with you guys. So looking forward to having a great games after this. Casey, Red Cobras, and let's see, Florida. Let's go get them.
Thank you, Rocky. And Brian, obviously, he's going to be here for the second game. You can have a company over here, and that's the winning run. Deven and Hemant Patel are coming back with the winning run. And LA, I think so, in this tournament, unfortunately, they are winless, if I'm not wrong. But you know what? They have a lot of spirit.
Sure.
They were hurting for players. A few got injured. But they were fighting out there like warriors, you know. So hats off to Janak Patel and the team for going out there and trying to give their best. And also at the same time, Georgia Titans, congratulations that they won today's game.
And ultimately, I'm sure they'll tell you it's not about whether or not they won. At our age, winning or losing means a lot less than the camaraderie and being around the people who you genuinely enjoy being around. So just with regard to this game itself, that's the final score. 9 wickets is the margin of victory for the Georgia Titans, taking it by a pretty, I would say, convincing margin of victory. Kuldeep, your thoughts as to how far Georgia can go, and then the rest of the tournament, what are you looking at?
So Georgia is a really good team. We played them right the first day, first day yesterday. First day, second game, and pretty good loaded team. You know, it's just that, you know, our batsmen, they played an exceptional innings, you know, to overcome and take a win, because we were chasing and scoring a decent score. But again, at end of the day, what we are looking at is like, you know, yesterday we were there till midnight outside the hotel, all these players, and we were just laughing and having fun and pulling each other's leg. You know, that is the best thing, and that brought tears to my eyes, that I've done something here with Janak. And like when I'm seeing today Roshan on the field, and all of a sudden this thing comes in my mind is, guess what? All these Houstonians that have created this platform that they would have never wished that outside of their club they can play anywhere competitively, right? Now I've seen them play for the last 3 days. I don't think so. If there is something tournament somewhere else that they might get an opportunity to be there, and all these teams gave them an opportunity. That hey, guess what? We need a player. Have them come and enjoy with us, and they made them feel like they were part of their team. So that's the most amazing thing.
Absolutely amazing. So that is the end of the day. The Georgia Titans taking victory by the margin of 9 wickets. The LA Knights bow out of the tournament. Join us for the second half of our coverage here in about the next hour or so, where we'll have the toss. 1:30 is the start. So next hour and 7 minutes. Signing off for the moment from the fabulous Moosa Cricket Ground here in Pearland, Texas. See you when the Texas Red Cobras take on the Cobras will take on I'll give you the name of that other team that they're playing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They will take on the Florida Hurricanes. My apologies for not having that information readily available. But anyway, good cricket the rest of the day, and we'll see you shortly.